Phil.
Singer, this too hard.
It's a great day, sports world. What's up to all the sports lovers, the haters, the addicts, and the fanatics out there? This is Larry Patterson for GT365. That's Game Time 365 Sports right here on the GTSN. That's the Game Time Sports Network. Mom, we are stepping into week 9, man. We are halfway through the season. How you doing today, brother?
I was doing good before I got played a few minutes ago, but I'm doing great, man. I'm living. I'm healthy. Everybody, team in this chat besides mine, thriving, pushing for playoff spots, and I'm keeping hope alive, man. It's all good. How about y'all?
I'm great, and this man right here needs no introduction. You can actually Google him.
Ooh.
Call him Mr. Rollback. Mr. Darrell Owens, co-founder of the LegacyMaker Sports Network, photographer for Bowie Sports, up in Maryland. How you doing today, sir? Great to have you back on the pod again with me and Amon.
Hey, halfway through, man. Like I think when I last came on was the preseason. We right before the preseason started. So first 8 games, I'm tired. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It's been a long month, man. Your boy been on the road most of the month, and so I got a little semi downtime. I mean, I still got to go back and forth to DC the next month, but at least it's in DC, and I ain't got to get on no planes till December. So we in there.
Well, week 8 has passed. I'm pretty sure everybody saw all the scores and everything. If you haven't, go look them up. But we had some trades that happened over the past couple of days. You had the Rams acquire cornerback Roger McCreary in a 6th-round pick from Tennessee. Tennessee gets a 5th-round pick in exchange. The San Francisco 49ers get defensive end Keon White in a 7th-round pick, and New England gets a 6th-round pick in exchange. And Pittsburgh acquires safety Kyle Duggar and a 7th-round pick, and New England gets a 6th-round pick in exchange. Pittsburgh had what's my man? The safety. He used to play for the Commanders. I'm blanking on his name, and I had his name on top of my mind all day.
Shoot. Safety used to play for the Commanders. Was he a starter? Because I'm now.
He was a starter / like role player.
Man.
What is his name?
Oh my goodness! And it's funny because it popped in my head. Like, well, it wasn't Jackson. What was his name? He was on the William Jackson III. No, he was on the team a couple years ago. He was on the team a couple years ago, but he went to Pittsburgh. I don't know if it's the same guy.
I'm drawing a blank right now.
I'm drawing a complete blank right now. If somebody knows that, say it in the chat. But he currently went out. I don't know if it's a season ending, but them getting Kyle Duggar in exchange. Kyle Duggar just signed a contract. I want to say 4 years last season with New England. So kind of a surprise. I mean, he's not Vrabel's guy, so not a surprise that he went out the building or got traded away. So, how do you feel about those trades? And also, who's the next trade candidate coming up?
There's a lot of. All right, so here's a crazy thing. I feel like New England's about to make a big move. You don't make those moves. I don't think they finish wheeling and dealing. I think they make those moves because Duggar's been a pretty solid player in this league. So, I mean, Pittsburgh definitely needed the help. But, Pittsburgh doesn't have the most expensive defense in the league. And, I'm not trying to throw no shade, but Green Bay did do some things in that second half of the game. And they even brought up on the broadcast, like, you get the most expensive defense in the league, and it didn't look good in that second half. Now, 4 back. I think New England's going to make some type of move. That there's something big. Maybe it's a Jacoby Myers. Maybe it's a guy like that they bring back in, but something's going to happen in New England. And I think they're ready to make a push. Drake May's playing well, and I expect something from New England. Now, on the other fronts, the next big one is very interesting. I think it's a Saint that's involved in the next big one. Lave name was getting tossed out there a lot, and then they kind of backed off on that. Kamara name was getting tossed out there, but he said he didn't want to go nowhere. So Rashid Shaheed is the one that I feel like goes somewhere, and he could help somebody out. And the question is, who? I did hear Denver. Denver was one of those names. So I think it'll be very fun to see how it played out the next couple of weeks. Washington is in need of a receiver, but Terry's banged up. Devo's banged up. Terry's not playing on Sunday, so they're still not completely out of it, but they've got to figure things out. There's a couple teams that could use them, so I'm intrigued to see where it goes. But I think Shaheed is the one that we see the next one that goes. Probably before the trade deadline next week for sure.
Yeah, I think he's one of those ones that a couple teams has their eyes on. Buffalo, Denver, a couple of receiver needy teams. I'm gonna talk about the Keon White one for a little bit. I think that was a good one for San Francisco because they have to fill that void of Nick Bosa not being there. They need a little pass rush. Michael Williams, we all know, the talent he was coming out of the draft, but he's a great run defender, but his pass rushing skill set hasn't got there yet as a rookie. And we expect that to take some time. The defensive players don't really catch their stride to maybe year 2 or year 3, not unless you're one of them ones that can really just take off like Bosa did in 2019. So, giving, San Francisco some more needed pass rush help up front will definitely be key. Now, we can't help that, Bosa's gone, Warner's gone for the season. That that kind of stings a little bit. So I would love to see what that looked like alongside Keon White joining that pass rush group because Keon White's a pretty good player coming out of Georgia Tech, and I think it was a second or third rounder a couple years ago. I think he played good ball for me for a little while when I was watching him, but I guess you say you're not one of Vrabel's guys. I guess you get shipped out, and like Mr. Rollback said here, they're not done willing and dealing. Maybe they'll be in the market for Jacoby Myers. Even I got Galaxy Brain and say, hey, I know this probably won't happen, but they can probably call Philly and see what's going on with AJ Brown because we know AJ Brown had some good years under Mike Vrabel when they was in Tennessee a few years back. So I doubt that happens. That's what me and Larry talked about. Especially when AJ Brown didn't play Sunday, I was like, could this be something really going on, or are they holding out for trade precautions? But I doubt it happens when you're a good team like the Eagles and you're in the middle trying to go for a two-peat, as you per se. The Kyle Duggar trade to Pittsburgh, they definitely needed it up, in Pittsburgh because you got a $41 million defensive pass rusher, and what Green Bay did to them on Sunday night was kind of like, woo. Is it justifiable paying that 41? And that's what no shade to Steelers fans. It's like, I know you wanted to keep TJ Watt in house, and rightfully so. But long term, was that the best answer? Knowing that you needed, you're gonna have to plug multiple holes on that team, quarterback wise. That's a question in the future. So yeah, man, if they're putting their chips all in, for this year, going to get Kyle Duggar to help Jalen and Darius Slay out and JP Joy Porter Jr. on the other side. I think that's a good pickup for them. And the Chris Olave inkling's been out there, but like Mr. Rollback said, that has died down a little bit, knowing his concussion history. Maybe you take a flyer on him, give up a third, fourth round pick, maybe, if you're not sign him to an extension. So those are a couple names out there. And then you have Denver. I don't know what they're going to do. They pushing for a receiver. Hopefully they don't get Jacoby. We'll refuse to trade in division. I'll probably be pissed.
I would be heated. I'm like, nah, bro, that ain't it.
That one. But man, I'm excited for the trade deadline here. What does the Colts do? Hey, there's a pass rusher in Cincinnati that's not going to be there after this year, and you're 7-1 right now.
Yep.
Hey, you really want to make a push? Hey, would you give up a third round pick for Trey Hendrickson, a 1-year rental, and put your chips all in because you guys have caught lightning in the bottle, being Mr. Danny Dimes, Larry's guy, 7-1, and you're number one in the AFC right now. If you really want to put your foot on the gas, go get Trey Hendrickson, and you're not going to be there. They gave him a raise this year to keep him happy. See if he can help Latu and those guys out on that defense that can probably take you to the next level. So those are a couple names that I'm looking forward to seeing here in the next week or so. We all know November 4th is coming up very soon. And there's some teams are going to be buyers, some teams are going to be sellers. And it all depends on where you at as a football team, what you're going to do come November 4th, 4 o'clock.
I feel like it's going to be really busy. Like
Yep.
I think that the NFL has taken on for the longest time, the NFL wasn't a trade league.
Mm-mm.
So, it wasn't in the last couple of years. They just started they see how much traffic and how much, eyes that get brought to the league, with the NBA and baseball and all those other sports. Now they's like, well, wait a minute, maybe we should jump on that band. And ever since then, it becomes a little bit more must see. So it's nice. It's real nice.
Each and every year, you're starting to see more trades. It's like, wait a minute, this guy moved? Just like we saw in the NBA last year with Luka. It's like, there's no way. But I agree with you guys. I think it's going to be a lot of traffic. And then an hour ago, we had John Mechie get traded to the Jets. John Mechie and another pick for cornerback Michael Carter. He went to the Eagles. So John Mechie, that's his second time getting moved this season. So
I think it's beneficial for him because look, in Philly, if you're not passing the ball to AJ Brown, Mr. John Mechie's not getting the football. So it's just it works out better for him, But I guess, now you're going to New York, and that looked a little better this week, but how much better will that be? 2 weeks or when they play next week? I don't know.
Right? Yeah.
I don't know.
And then speaking of the Jets, hey, people been rumbling saying Breece Hall could be out there. What could he possibly do? He's another one that's he had a little cryptic tweet up here an hour ago. What's going on there? And then back to the Saints about Alvin Kamara. He said he didn't want to get traded. If he's get traded, he's going to retire. And I heard that Kansas City was linking out there call their phones. I want to see that.
Oh my God.
I know you want to see that, and I don't want to see that. Imagine Alvin Kamara in Kansas City on a 1-year rental with what they got already.
Right. I mean, it would be insane. They don't need him.
They don't need him, but get richer. It's like you can go ahead and pencil them in to be playing in late January. You know what I mean? So names that I forgot to mention that I wanted to bring up to you guys and get you guys' opinion and your reaction of it.
And one of my some of my other trade candidates, I feel like Chig Okonkwo from the Titans, and also David Njoku. David Njoku could be another name.
That's a nice one.
Denver signed Mercedes Lewis today.
Hey, look, let me tell you something. Hey, Mercedes Lewis has been in the league a long time.
You would know. Absolutely.
I mean, he was. If anything else, Mercedes Lewis is going to provide great leadership on that team. He was amazing for Green Bay when he was there. I was sad when he left because I wanted him to be there with the young tight ends. I'm like, God, you got to keep him there to help bring Kraft along. I was wrong.
Right.
I'm okay with that. But yeah, man, I think he'll still be. He's looking for records, man. He's looking for records. So.
He's 41 years old. I think when he first got in the league, me and Larry was walking across the stage, getting out the
Well, and I think somebody posted him a while back, and I think it was like 2007, 2008. But like he was on like Madden 09 or Madden. Like that's crazy. He was on Madden pre-teens Maddens. That's crazy.
Yeah,
generations worth of Madden.
That was on Madden with Michael Vick in them. I'm like, bro, it's like
yeah.
But I'm looking at those two names in particular, and then Jeffrey Simmons. Like, how long is he going to be sitting over there going through that situation? They seem to be on the turnaround over there. You got your face tore up over there a little bit, Amon.
Yeah, that's a tough one for me, Jeffrey Simmons, because you want to. It's all about Cam Ward, right? And we all know it's about Cam Ward. You want to stockpile many picks to get him as many weapons as you did. As you can get next year. But the conversation I had with you a couple of days ago, Larry, about the Miami Dolphins thing. Just because you're having a bad season, do you want to really just go ahead and blow it all up and just, say, hey, I'm not going to give it's kind of hard for me, Mr. Rollback, to have an all-pro player like Jeffrey Simmons on my team. And yes, because my team is not performing, we're winning, whatever. it's kind of hard for me to part away with a player like that because he's an all-pro type player. It's probably him, Jalen Carter, and Chris Jones, right?
Yeah, amen.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's going to be nightmares that you know that you're going to have to look out for down in and down out every play. And I know Tennessee's in a spot now where they have to develop your players, but it's like, is the third round pick, is anybody going to give me a second round pick? Is anybody going to give me a third round pick for Jeffrey Simmons? And if so, that third round pick that I'm going to get from whoever, I'm not guaranteed for that person to be a Jeffrey Simmons type player.
Right.
Coming into the league or what, you know what I mean? So it's kind of hard for me to give away talent but at the same time, it's like, yes, we need to get all the capital we can to help support Cam Ward. And we all know the situation in Tennessee is nasty. He's going to have a new head coach. And that's another whole can of worms that we don't even have to open on this episode right now. So the Jeffrey Simmons one's kind of tricky for me because it's like, if you trade away Jeffrey Simmons, who on your defense do you know of any recognition?
I don't have nobody, man.
The Jerry Sneak came over from Kansas City 2 years ago for a third round, got a contract. He looked like Marshawn Lattimore out there after he left New Orleans.
Hey, but he's another candidate. Like I feel like that's a guy. If him, Ridley, they got a couple of like vets on that team that could help out. Like there's a couple places that could use a Calvin Ridley.
1,000%.
And Snead, don't be surprised Snead go back to like Kansas City. It's like that type of stuff happens.
Yeah,
so you gotta watch out for that.
Absolutely, yeah. But that's the only part about the Jeffrey Simmons. I was like, I don't know if you want to do that, but I understand.
I don't know.
Yeah, and Calvin really was a healthy scratch, I want to say, this past week. So
them healthy scratches, you gotta watch out for those guys. There's something sneaky going on in the water.
Going to around the league with the standings, we're gonna go through each division and seeing you guys' thoughts about it. We're gonna start with the AFC East right now. We got the Patriots sitting at 6-2, and we got the Bills sitting at 5-2. We got the Dolphins at 2-6, and the Jets at 1-7. The first two teams with the Patriots and the Bills. Amon, I know you said you didn't see the Bills, not being second in that division. You didn't see the Patriots, actually leading that division right now. I still don't think that they're going to win the division, but for them sitting in that spot of a game, I'm a little bit surprised, but I'm a little bit not surprised at the same time. So, what are your thoughts on New England being in first place right now?
It's culture matters, quarterbacks matter, offensive coordinators matter for sure. We all know how heck of a great offensive coordinator Josh McDaniels is, but being the head guy and 2 stops in the AFC West, it wasn't his in his best day in the park. You know what I mean? So, Drake May has took that leap. We've seen growth from rookie Drake May to second year Drake May, and it's like, okay, everything that he was working on towards the end of the season, his growing pains that he had last year, those are not issues anymore. You know what I mean? And that's what you're seeing now. You're giving him a Stephon Diggs, my boy out of Washington State. The Williams, I think his name Kyle Williams out of Washington.
Kyle Williams. Yeah.
State. You got him, Hunter Henry, who's been around forever in the league. He's not a top 10 tight end in the league, but he's not a whole name, but he's a serviceable tight end. He's a blanket. And then you give him Ramondre Stevenson. We know he had fumbling issues. And you give him Travion Henderson with some, got some explosives with him. So you're seeing him, just read coverages, and this, McDaniels is going to say, hey, the coverages will dictate where the ball is going, and he's just finding out where the coverages is, and he's just getting the ball there, and that's built confidence, and he's just taking off. So is it a surprise to me? Yes. I thought right now he would be where Jaden was last year at this time and going into year 2, if that makes sense. That's how I thought would come along, but he surpassed all of my expectations as a sophomore, quarterback. Like Jaden has took the we know Jaden hasn't been healthy this year, which variables factor into things. That Jaden hasn't looked like the Jaden of last year, and
Yeah.
like Drake May has took that spot from Jaden sort of. So I'm excited for him. I didn't see this coming. Like I said again, coaching matters. And then for the Buffalo Bills, like I said, you got Josh. When you got Josh Allen, you got a chance. I mean, I don't care who you are. It could be me, you, and Mr. Rollback out there. We know we got 17 back there. Man, he gonna find one of us open somewhere. You know what I mean? So he's just one of those guys. But for Miami and in New York, New York, they're trying to build their own culture with Aaron Glenn. Congratulations to him getting his first win.
Shout out to him.
It wasn't easy. We know he was under a lot of scrutiny, and the microscope was on Woody Johnson and what his comments he said about Justin Fields earlier this week or last week. And then for the Dolphins, man, we pretty much know what's going to go on there at the end of the year. We don't know if Tua's going to be back, but me and Larry look at that cap hit. It's like what? Buku millions of dollars. It's up there.
It's up there.
I don't know if it's worth it, but we know there's going to be some new blood, new GM, new everything in there next year. So I'm a little surprised by the AFC East, but those are two teams that are battling for the division, and I expect Buffalo to handle business.
Oh man, so for me, I had 5 teams that I felt like would either surprise people this year. Maybe not even. I wouldn't say they would, make the playoffs, but they would surprise people and be extremely competitive. 3 out of the 4 are playing pretty solid. I had the Patriots. I had the Patriots, the Jets, who have been a disappointment, but they have been competitive in games. They just ain't won them. So I feel good about that part of it. I had the Giants in there. The Giants were showing some signs of life. They just couldn't pull it off. The Panthers were the other team, and the Jaguars. So out of those teams, I had 2 teams in the AFC in the East, and one of them is thriving right now. And it does help to have a 3rd place / 4th place schedule right now in that conference, and given it, they're kind of seeing. And Amon, you brought a little bit of Jaden up, but it's getting that Washington effect from last year, where Washington saw the 4th place, teams last year, and those games were like they were like 1 possession games, and they just happened to win those. This time around, it's not the case. They've got a 1st place, 2nd place schedule, and it's a lot tougher. They put to play 8 playoff teams this year. So what I like from what I've seen, you could just see the confidence level in the Patriots. So them being in 1st place is a surprise. I thought they would be, fighting for 2nd. That win they had against Buffalo was huge. To win that game against Buffalo was a statement win amongst all of that, other stuff that was going on. So shout out to, the Patriots for that. And I think they're on the right path. And they don't even have Diggs is a star, don't get me wrong, but they don't have any superstars in that team. They've got a really good football team with a really good head coach, and they're just rolling. And then Buffalo, like Amon said, Buffalo's Buffalo. I still won't be surprised if Buffalo wins this division by the end of the year. You know what I'm saying? Like I would not be surprised there. And if I feel like they will get better before the trade deadline next week. Then of course, the Jets hurt me more than anything. I think because I had a lot of high expectations that they probably would be like 4-4 right now. They would be in the mix. They may not win it, but they'd be in the mix. And I think that I hate that the owner came out and said what he said about Justin Fields, but it obviously needed to be said, and people may have not liked the way it was said. I didn't like the way it was said either, but look what happened the next week. They get a win. He's played probably his best game of the season, and that's without poor Tyrod Taylor just can't catch a break. Every time my man about to start, they said the injury guy said, "No, my son, it is not your time." I'm like, I don't understand it. Like I don't understand it. So, if that's what's going to take for Justin Fields to take another leap, by all means, I want to see what they can do. Oh, am I missing Miami? Oh, Miami trash. I had Miami going 5-12, and they're not disappointing. So thank you, Miami, for making me look good.
One more before we move on, Larry, and I don't, no slight to the Patriots, whatever, but when you look at Miami's roster, you're thinking, okay, there's no way that they can be as bad as they are. You got Tua. He's not Justin Herbert or one of these guys, but he gets you to the playoffs a couple years. You got Tyreek, you got Jalen Waddle, you got the defense. You got Jalen Phillips, you got Bradley Chubb. Yes, Bradley Chubb not what he was back in his Denver days or whatever the case may be. Minka Fitzpatrick. I mean, you make some wholesale changes, and it's like, dang, you think they should be a lot. Devon Achane, they should be a lot better on paper, but it's just it's more of an indictment on Miami being just as bad as they are.
Right.
It's more of a Miami thing for me than it is a New England thing for them. New England just capitalizing on what they playing in front of them, and if they playing dysfunction and they're beating dysfunction, that's what it's supposed to do. So I thought it would be a Buffalo Miami 1-2 race, but it goes to show you, man, if you don't come out firing on all cylinders, and you got people pointing the fingers at this player and this team only team meeting, no coaches, and just saying this in the media, and it's everything that's unraveling and spiraling out of control in Miami, and they sitting at 2 and whatever they are, just like I am. So I'm not, I'm a little shocked in that stance. But Tyreek going out being injured and stuff like that, we all know Tua's injury history as well. Right. When so many things compound on you, and once how they say when you catch every bad break in each season, snowballs. That's what happened in Miami, and credit to New England, they're taking advantage of what's going on in Miami and then putting themselves in a spot to where they can compete for a wild card spot, yet a division title here in 2025.
Obviously, the Dolphins and Jets will probably be sellers come next week or before, but the scheduling between the Patriots and the Bills. First, the Patriots versus the Atlanta Falcons this Sunday at Tampa, then against the Jets at home, at Cincy, then against the Giants at home. Then you hit a bye in week 14. After that bye, you got a big matchup against Buffalo, at Foxborough,
right,
at Baltimore, at the Jets before finishing off at home against Miami.
I mean, that's like, I'm going to say guaranteed losses, but there really only feels like 2. If there feels like 2, maybe 3. Everything else looks winnable or sounds winnable, I should say.
Yep.
So, but based off of the way they're playing right now,
Buffalo side versus Kansas City this Sunday.
That's gonna be tough.
At Miami versus Tampa Bay, at Houston, at Pittsburgh versus Cincinnati. Then you got the game against New England. Mind you, Buffalo had their bye week in week 7. After the New England game, you got at Cleveland, then Philly, and then the Jets at finishing off at home. I think Buffalo's got the tougher schedule there.
Yeah.
So, that's kind of what makes me go in favor with New England. But New England's got to stay the course. Hopefully they'll stay healthy, and we'll see. Go ahead, Amon.
But this game Sunday coming up, this is the one they have to get. They
Atlanta?
No. No, they play.
You talking about Kansas? Okay.
Right.
Oh, okay.
They have to get this one. Like, whether it's regular season or not, at some point, your mental psyche, we all human, it kicks in. It's like, if I can't beat this team, when am I going to beat them? You know what I mean? Like,
right.
But you catch them. But on the flip side of that is, if you feel like you can beat Kansas City this week, those other teams on that schedule, you feel like you feel pretty good about Buffalo being either competitive in those games or winning those games, from a psyche standpoint. But if you go in and you lose this game to Kansas City, and it's a big, who at home? Is Buffalo at home?
Buffalo's at home, yeah.
It'll be a big letdown, but they're catching Kansas City at the wrong time because everybody's back for them bad. Steve Rice is back, Hollywood's back, Xavier back, Kelsey's not even 50%. He's not himself.
Right.
Pacheco, then you got Kareem Hunt, and then you got the rookie running back out there
from SMU. Yeah.
Yes, you just catching the buzzsaw at the wrong time. This coming up Sunday.
They're not even playing that good right now. That's the crazy part. They're not playing good right now.
That's the crazy.
I mean, on Monday, I was sitting there thinking to myself, like, Washington was hanging in there early, and I'm like, okay, they can win this. And then Kansas City just didn't make mistakes. They didn't play crazy well. They just played basic football. Mahomes scrambling around a little bit, found a wide open guy, boom, boom. It wasn't nothing special. It's just classic Chiefs football. It was they're about to get really good here soon. I
Yes,
feel it. I feel it.
and they got a solo window too. This game is the only game at 4:25. So yeah, they might it might be a light show come Sunday if Buffalo don't bring if they bring their knives to this gunfight coming Sunday. Woo, it's gonna be a long rest of the season for Buffalo trying to win those games that they're supposed to beat the players in front of them, the teams in front of them, and then get to the playoffs. It's gonna be long, but they're just catching Kansas City at the wrong time, in my personal opinion.
Going to the AFC North, you got Pittsburgh sitting at 4-3, the Bengals sitting at 3-5, the Ravens at 2-5, and the Browns, of course, sitting at 2-6. Is this Pittsburgh's division to lose, or are the Ravens coming out of nowhere, coming to resurrect? Are the Ravens coming to resurrect here, and take this thing over starting this Thursday night when they play Miami?
I don't know, man. I said the Ravens, they can make a push, because it's
very favorable schedule, by the way.
Very favorable schedule. They can make a push, but then again, it's like, okay, are they going to shoot themselves in the foot? Their defense has to play better because you got $300 million people over there. You got Kyle Hamilton making $100-some million, Roquan Swift making $100-some million, and then Justin Madubuike, he's out with the neck. That's another $90 million guy that's not been contributing to your team. And you traded Odafe Oweh. You traded him to LA a couple weeks ago. So it's that defense for me, man. I just don't know. And then Pittsburgh, their wins of versus who again, Larry? Dylan Gabriel, Carson Wentz, Justin Fields,
yeah,
and
Drake May.
They beat Drake May, Dylan Gabriel, Drake May, Justin Fields, Carson Wentz.
In which the Patriots shot themselves in the foot in that game too.
Yeah, they had a chance in that one.
So it's like you're not seeing Burrow, you're not seeing Lamar, you're not beating teams with quality quarterbacks. So I don't put too much stock into the Steelers, but I don't want to count the Ravens out. But I don't want to give up on the Steelers because they have Aaron Rodgers, and we just don't know how the Ravens are going to finish because we know their defense was bad at the end of last year. And we're starting to see that carry over into this year as well, giving up 30-some points or whatever the case may be. I don't know. So I'm still saying it's the Steelers' division to lose until Lamar say otherwise.
It's so I look at this division, and it's other than the Browns, I'm not whatever.
Right.
Cleveland, I'm not even worried about Cleveland. Cleveland don't even know what they want to. They can't figure nothing out. They don't know. They don't know what they got going on. Who do I want to start? What am I going to do? They have no clue. And until they can get the GM and the coach on the same page, which it's obvious that they're not. From draft day up until now, is obviously shown that they don't know what they want to do. And it's at some point I do think Shador will play. I think they're going to get forced for him to play at some point, because Deshaun Watson could come back before the end of the season, unless they decide to just shut him down and wait till next year. So that's the other factor. Nobody, the way the division is set up, if they can just find a way to sneak a couple, who knows? Maybe Deshaun Watson is back before anything goes awry here. So Cleveland's a weird thing. They should be out of it, but the way the division going right now, who knows? The Ravens are truly the disappointment because every year they draft extremely well defensively. If you look at their names on paper, you're like, wow, that defense is stacked. And it just ain't happening. And I don't know. I think we're seeing now how much they miss Mike McDonald. Mike McDonald's a really good coach. We're seeing it in Seattle right now. He's a really good coach. When he was out there, that's who I wanted the Commanders to get. I thought, and I love DQ. DQ's a great guy. I have nothing against DQ. But I thought that if you're going to go young gun, he was the guy. Like I had a feeling, like forget Ben Johnson, Mike McDonald's your guy. And I'm looking at it in Seattle. I'm like, I feel like I was semi right there. But they miss him. They miss him bad. They miss Patrick Ricard, who's finally back. Derrick Henry been praising his praises, and so glad to see him back in the fold. My girl Karita Parks, who covers the Ravens for Bowie TV, she told me, she was just like, Darrell, like him coming back is such a huge piece. And then he's back now. Where I think we're going to see a better Derrick Henry here in the next couple of weeks. So that's something to watch out for. The Bengals just offensively with Joe Cool has been good so far. Their defense is trash. There's no nice things to say about that defense. It's bad. It's ugly. It's just not good. And then, if Aaron Rodgers, can keep things at least decent on the offense, and that defense, the highest paid defense in the league, finally just started to show up, is their division to lose. Yeah. They had everything set up for them. They were 4-1. And now the Ravens decide to get a win, sneak a win back in there, and they done lost 2 straight. So figure it out. Figure it out, guys. Figure it out.
Yeah. I definitely think if that defense can wake up and at least play manageable, then okay. And if Aaron Rodgers on the other side is taking care of the ball and finding DK, I think if they can play manageable football, you can see this team go deep into the playoffs.
Right.
And then with the Bengals, I mean, Joe Flacco he's got an AC joint sprain now, so he's uncertain to play this Sunday. So that eliminates that quarterback out of the season. Now, what are you going back to Jake Browning now? With the Ravens, I feel like with their schedule, they already had to bye week 7, and they got at Miami tomorrow night. They got at Minnesota, at Cleveland, then the Jets, then Cincinnati on a Thursday night. You play Pittsburgh week 14. You at Cincinnati. You play New England. Then you at Green Bay, and then at Pittsburgh. And then with Pittsburgh, you got Indy this Sunday. You add the Chargers on Sunday Night Football next Sunday. Then you got the Bengals, the Bears. You got Buffalo. Then you play Baltimore. Then you got Miami on a Monday night, at Detroit, at Cleveland, then Baltimore. Like
this is Pittsburgh, right?
That's Pittsburgh, right? I just named off. Yeah,
about to get real.
Yeah. That's what happened to them last year. What were they last year? They were what 10-1 or something like that, and then they had that last 6-game stretch, and they lost like the last 7 games, including the playoff game. I'm like,
yeah,
and then that's what's happening to them this year. Great start, and now they look like they could get set up. That I'm not gonna lie to you. If that happens again, Tomlin's gone.
Yeah, for sure.
I love Coach Tomlin. He'll pick up another job somewhere in the league like that, but he can't. He has to win his division, get that home playoff game, and he's got to find a way. he's got to find a way to win a playoff game. Because just making the playoffs anymore ain't good for Steelers fans. They're tired. They're tired.
And then when you go to the Browns, I hate to say this, but I feel like we're probably going to see Shador maybe the last 4 games of the season when it doesn't even matter.
Right.
And as a head coach and Kevin Stefanski, aren't you responsible for developing all of your quarterbacks?
You never wanted them, man.
Because technically on the depth chart, you got Dylan Gabriel and then you got Shador Sanders. Okay, say Dylan Gabriel takes his monster hit, or say he takes an injury in general, and he has to come out the game. Now you're expecting to just throw Shador out there, and you're not giving him any first team reps. If that's still the case, I just feel like you're blackballing him. And then when I feel like if Kevin Stefanski puts him in, and then if Shador lights it up, then they're probably going to look at him like, see?
You could have had it the whole time.
Yeah, and now his job is probably in jeopardy because of that. I just don't understand this Cleveland team.
Yeah, me either. I don't understand it either. But like I told you, and I think you hinted towards it, Larry, a little bit. If I was Shador, I wouldn't. Don't put me in a game. If the Browns are struggling and they're losing, and it's the third quarter, and they think about pulling me, don't pull me.
Right.
Pull me. Let Dylan play out the rest of this game, because you know what's going to happen. Shador is going to get in that game, and they're going to go run a game plan that they had designed for Dylan Gabriel. They're not going to have a game plan designed for Shador Sanders, and I don't think that would be fair to him for him to be playing off Dylan Gabriel game plan, because they have two different sets of skills, and I wouldn't want to come in and I want a fair shake and say, hey, this is my game plan that Stefanski put me together for me. and then let me be fairly evaluated that way. If that makes sense to you guys, a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, we seen hints of that. I mean, in the preseason game when they brought him in, they got him in there with the 4th-string offensive lineman. My man running for his life. Now that's one of Shador's kryptonites. He does kind of tend to run back a little far. That's something that can be corrected, but you can't correct it without any reps. Look, the league did this young man a disservice. I think we all feel that way. There's a lot of people say, "Oh, his dad." No, he was the second best quarterback coming at the minimum. The second best quarterback in that draft class.
Yep.
It's one of the craziest things I've ever seen, most disrespectful things I've ever seen. How much you don't like his dad.
Right.
I don't, whatever. I mean, New Orleans, look at New Orleans right now. For what?
You think they could have used Shador at 9 or number 40?
Yeah.
Probably could have.
I mean, the Giants, touche. I mean, I'm not. I wasn't very upon the Giants. What are you doing? But they seem like they got their guy in their right situation, so that's fine and dandy. But some of these other teams, there's no excuses. The Saints are the one that bothered me the most. I'm like, you had them there at 9. There's no need, And when we see Tyler Shuck get out there this week,
they gave him a quarter and a half, and
I was like, man, look.
But yeah, the league. They pretty much put when they dropped Shador to the 5th, and I know we can move on after this.
Mm-hmm.
They pretty much said, "Hey, ain't nobody bigger than the program."
Yep,
pretty much. So
meanwhile, you got Myles Garrett out here having record-breaking games, and how long is this going to continue to happen? The man wants to win, but who does he blame? Who do you blame in this situation?
He blame himself. He the one that signed the $40 million deal. He the one put his ink to that paper. You requested a trade back in February, right? You put the little thing out there, say, "Hey, I've enjoyed my time here in Cleveland. I would like to move on." I guarantee you, Detroit would have put a package together just like that to get him. They would have put a package together. Somebody else, but no. When the owner 5 years, $140 million, and I look and I got $140 million in my bank the next morning I wake up.
Right.
It's kind of hard to say, okay, I understand that. But you knew that this team was nowhere near ready to compete or be in the ballpark of competing with the quarterback situation alone, whether this was before Shador or Dillon got drafted, the quarterback situation was a mess. So you put your name on that dotted line. So now you're had a game with 5 sacks and you lose by what? 20, whatever the case may be.
Yeah, it was.
Performance is all for nothing. So I don't blame nobody but Myles Garrett because he had an out. If Myles Garrett said, "Hey guys, I want to get out of here," I guarantee you, with what he did for that franchise, they would have granted him permission to go look and seek whoever could be the highest bidder. Give us something in return to make it fair, and they would have made it work. I promise you that would have happened. So,
we've seen it multiple times over the last couple of years. Disgruntled players, things don't work out, and people get the trade. My thing is this: I agree. It's his fault. In the end, you could have been somewhere else winning. Anywhere else winning. You decided to stay. You decided I'm gonna pull a Joe Thomas, and I'm gonna stay here in Cleveland. And. Damn. My only thing about that is look, the loyalty part of it, cool, but we know it's like more of the money. But at least on the first service, you can say the loyalty. Now, as a team leader, he has the right to get upset.
Sure.
I think if I'm the highest paid player on that team, I am going to scream into the rooftops until y'all fix it. He is the players are going to gravitate around Myles Garrett. If Myles Garrett is not liking where things are going, he's got the biggest voice in that locker room. Forget Deshaun Watson. He has proven nothing since he's been in Cleveland. And I still heartbreaking to me because no matter what you say about the massages, Deshaun Watson had a chance to be generational great in the NFL. It just didn't happen. It just didn't happen. But he's got the loudest voice in that locker room. So if I'm not going out there and he's got to be the one that leads the charge to get that organization fixed. You're the highest paid player. You obviously show it up on the field. I mean, a 5-sack performance is incredible. To lose 32, you tell me if you say, "Hey man, I got 5 sacks in the game." Well, how much did y'all win by? Well, actually, we lost by 19. Yeah, we lost.
It's a waste.
It's a waste. You can't have that happen. You got to get that fixed. Either you trade this man, Get him out of there and get low because you're gonna get. They already loaded up on draft picks. You trade this man, and you can get. You're set for the years to come to try to refix it out. You go and get rid of your GM. I don't like to see a black man lose his job, but
You got to go.
it's not cute right now. Something's got to give.
Right.
Something's got to give in Cleveland. It's bad.
You think Detroit won't give up 2-1s for him? You think the Commanders won't give up 2-1s for him?
Yeah.
You there's some teams out here. Hey, who I know I'm missing teams.
Hey, look, if we had the picks to give back, hell, Dallas could do it. You know,
Yeah.
Dallas just got both of Green Bay picks. You go and trade that, go get Myles Garrett. He from Texas.
Yeah, he from down there.
Yeah.
So Dallas can do it. You think they wouldn't say, hey, look, our team will be competitive. We probably gonna pick in from 25 to 32. Take these 2-1s, rebuild your football team, and we'll see how your team look in 2-3 years after these draft picks shake out. So I mean, he definitely had plenty of chances to go out, but like Mr. Rollback said, he wanted to play the Joe Thomas route, retire Brown, or if that's what he desired to do. And I'm not mad at him.
It just don't even sound sexy.
Yeah,
it don't even sound sexy. They're tired of Browns.
But like I said, it's a double-edged sword. Somebody tell you I got 5 for 140. The 140 gonna hit your account tomorrow morning when you wake up.
Yeah, you got to do what you got to do.
I'm gonna be like, yo, we suck, but I can get 5 sacks anywhere. But I'm gonna get him here this year. I'm gonna get him with Cleveland, boy.
Man, greatest Cleveland player, greatest. Here's the thing, like number one pick, he's been worth every bit of the number one pick. You know, and that's not. Sometimes you can't say that, and he's done his part. So
yeah, you're probably one of the top. It's when I think of the Cleveland Browns, I'm thinking of Jim Brown, Joe Thomas, Myles Garrett.
I agree with that.
Am I missing anybody?
Maybe you could throw in maybe like a Bernie Coulthard or maybe what's my man's name? Ernest Biner. Maybe, but those are maybes though.
Right,
yeah.
those are maybes. But those three, Jim Brown, Joe Thomas, Myles Garrett, those are Mr. You know, when I think about the Cleveland Browns franchise, they're the greatest players they done had in their history. It's gonna be those three until somebody else steps up and be that fourth person.
Right.
Yeah. Ozzie Newsome as well.
Ozzie Newsome. There you go. No disrespect, Ozzie. No disrespect, I promise. No disrespect.
Lord have mercy.
In the AFC South, you got the Colts sitting at 7-1, the Jaguars sitting at 4-3, the Texans at 3-4, and the Titans sitting at 1-7. I'm gonna tell you right now, I expected Daniel Jones to be at the level because of the quarterback marriage, the quarterback and the coach marriage, but I didn't expect him to be 7-1 sitting at the top of the AFC South right now.
No.
What are your guys' thoughts? And I know you just said no, but what are your overall thoughts?
I've had to apologize a couple of times on one-on-one. I've had to apologize a couple of times on one-on-one. Every week, you know, and you know, they were number one in the power rankings last week. They're going to be number one this week. So I publicly apologize once again to the Indianapolis Colts. I said they were going to go 2-15. I said that and said it with confidence. I'm like, look, I don't like what I'm seeing there. And that's what I felt every week. Every week they proved me wrong. And all I kept saying to myself, like, dang, I got to delete that video, man. Nobody needs to know this. But no, what Indianapolis is doing right now, and what Daniel Jones is playing his best football, and it looks easy to him, which I never thought I would say. Like, they made the playoffs with the Giants a couple years ago, and it was okay. It was cool. But this actually looks easy to Daniel Jones. Like, he looks legitly happy. And there's a lot of talk that the Vikings really wanted to keep him as a backup because they saw the development. And I'll be honest with you, I think if he was in Minnesota, he would be doing the same exact thing he's doing now. McConnell's a genius. And so McConnell knew what he had in him just in case McCarthy didn't work out. They didn't want Carson Wentz. You know, Carson Wentz was going to be the third option. So I like what I see from the Colts. Shout out to them. They got a tough one against Pittsburgh this week. I think there's some type of thing where they may have beat them last year, but I think they hadn't beaten Pittsburgh in like some years, like since Peyton Manning days. I don't know if that's still the case or not, but I think it was last year. So that's going to be a tough one. But Indianapolis, shout out to you. The Jaguars, on the other hand, they're a team that I picked to make the playoffs. I had them going in as a 7 seed. They showed a lot of spark. Then they lost these last 2 games. And not the way, that Seahawks game. Seahawks is a tough team, but it was a little wanky or whatever. They had to bye this week, so they gotta come back and show out this next week. But I do like Jacksonville, and I still think that they can make some noise in the division. I think it's going to probably be a little bit closer in the end than we think. The Texans are trying to battle themselves back. They're a team that should be also a trade receiver candidate. Like they I don't know what it is about them and receivers. They just don't stay healthy down there. Like, Tank Dell has still been out. I don't know how much longer before if he comes back. The Higgins kid did some good things this weekend. Hutchinson, they had the young guys kind of came in and do some stuff, but they need a legit number one. They thought that was going to work out last year with Diggs. It didn't until it didn't. They need a guy down there. So an AJ Brown down there could be nice for CJ Stroud. That could be something that if you're the Texans and you can figure that out, you maybe you make that happen, because he would definitely get targets down there, and there's no way they're not passing him the football down there. And then last but not least, the Titans. I talked really bad about the Saints too at the beginning of the season. I said, look, Saints are going to be just But I will say this about the Saints. They have competed in most of the games they've been in. They've been in battles. They just haven't won them. They're kind of like how the Jets were. The Titans, on the other hand, Titans, it's been ugly. If you're a Titans fan, I pray for you at night. Because you don't deserve what you're getting right now. And it's not going to get better. You fired Callahan. I think Callahan probably would have been a good coach in another situation.
Yeah,
this won't it for him. He'll probably get another chance down the road. About 3 or 4 years from now, he'll go back, be an OC somewhere, light it up, and they're going to say, he'll get the Josh McDaniels treatment where he gets another shot. But I'm gonna tell you right now, no sir, it's bad. It's bad, and they'll be probably picking number 1 or number 2 again this year.
Mm-hmm.
It's bad. It's bad.
I think it was with the Will Levis experiment and how that went, and then you drafted your guy in Campbell, because I think did he draft Will Levis?
No, so the
Grant Cawthorn drafted Will Levis in the 2nd round.
Yeah, and Cawthorn got done wrong.
Dirty.
He only had a couple years there, and they didn't give the man a chance to grow. So, there's a part of me that said, you deserve this. I'm not even gonna sit there and lie to you. Yeah. You deserve this, because Cawthorn was a part of that 49ers organization that helped build, like, along with Peters. You can't tell me that guy's not smart enough to build a team. You didn't give him no time. So you shame.
Yeah,
shame. But they've done some crazy things the last couple of years. You trade Derrick Henry. You trade AJ Brown. You're gonna end up in a position like this when you got 2 studs on your team. You know what I'm saying? Just imagine if they were still there, just out of curiosity, and you got a Cam Ward. Now Cam Ward's got 2 stalwarts to go along with, whatever. But no, it's gonna be bad for a while. Tennessee, new stadium or no new stadium, it's gonna be bad for a while, y'all. Sorry. Sorry. I feel bad for Cam.
The Colts haven't beat the Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh since November 9th, 2008.
God dang! My daughter was 3 months old.
But they beat Pittsburgh the last 2 meetings.
Okay, so they just haven't beat them in Pittsburgh since
Pittsburgh.
Man, that's 17 years, man. That's crazy. Peyton was at the helm, man. That's a long time.
You put a couple kids through college and everything.
That's what I'm saying. I got a child in college, and the other one was 3 months old. All right, that's insane to me. That's insane to me.
Amon, did you share your thoughts on this division? Or?
I just think for me, Daniel Jones, he's playing well. He's comfortable. He looks happy, like Mr. Roback said. He looked happy. That team I feel like it's a complete football team in all 3 phases: defense, special teams, and offense. JT has 12 touchdowns already.
And didn't even talk about him.
Playing out of his mind right now.
I didn't even MVP right now. Sorry. I meant to mention him.
Through 8 weeks, 9 weeks. Saquon won AP won his MVP back in 2012.
Mm-hmm.
He had 12 total that year. So that coach is trying to tell you what kind of clip JT on. And he's running through offensive lines. I mean, lanes like Mack trucks, bro. Like They're not like struggle yards. They're like
Yeah, he bulldozing folks, bro. It's crazy.
Yeah, people get moved down the line, and then you got Alec Pierce. He's that deep ball threat. He's probably one of the best deep ball catchers in the league. Underrated,
Underrated, super underrated,
super fast, underrated. You got Josh Downs in the slot. Mr. Mitchell. He had that little hiccup again, versus the Rams a few weeks ago.
They'd be undefeated if it wasn't for that.
They'd be undefeated.
They'd be undefeated if it wasn't for that.
So. Mr. Warren, looking like he can be the next great one behind Dallas Clark here. He's balling out of his mind. No matter what, you got all pro, probably first ballot, second ballot Hall of Fame, and Quentin Nelson on that line.
Yeah.
Nice offensive line.
Man.
And then that you got Zaire Franklin in the middle of that defense. You got Latu in his second year coming to live as a pass rusher. You drafted Quiddy a few years ago. You still got DeForest Buckley in the middle. You got Kenny Moore in the slot. And you got Blackman as a safety. So the team is complete. And they're playing good football right there. So I think their division is almost sold up for them. They'll have a home playoff game for sure. Yep. And like I said, I'll be the first one to admit I was not high on Danny Dimes from what he's did with New York. I'm not, and I'm wrong as of right now, October 29th, whatever day it is. I'm wrong about Danny Dimes. For the Jaguars, I'm a little disappointed, only because I had high hopes in Liam Cohen, and he's done a great job with what he has this year with the Jaguars. But I think for me, fellas, that Kansas City win on Monday night should have put them in another stratosphere.
Yeah.
To me, I know Seattle's a tough out. The last two games have been tough for them, but those are the games that you beat a team like Kansas City at home in front of your crowd, solo stage. You're the only game on TV. Those are the wins that you had to expect to play like that every week. You know what I mean? And the letdowns back and forth is a little troublesome for me. I don't know what's going on with Brian Thomas Jr. He's been in some trade rumors out here in a couple of articles about, people calling about him. That'll probably be a stupid move, not unless they really have that much faith in Travis that he can take over the number one role. And what
Jags already shut it down.
Yeah, and rightfully so. And they could be bluffing us and saying, hey, no, they're not. That's false. But if you look at Brian Thomas' body language throughout the season, dropping balls that he didn't normally drop last year, his bland answers in the media after games or whatever, something's going on there. So but I'm a little disappointed in the Jaguars. And for the Texans, they're trying to get there. CJ's getting back to his old ways. That defense is still pretty good with Will Anderson and Stingley. Two top three picks, man, that are bona fide Pro Bowl superstar studs, and respectfully. And then for the Titans, man, it's just, hey, we just out here, it's all about getting him right. But Cam Ward needs to do his job as well and not turn the ball over. You know what I'm saying? Yes, we know this team is bad, but when you're not doing your part on a Sunday and Sunday out, turning the ball over, had the ball slipping out of your hand, throwing the ball out of bounds, Devin White catching it as an interception, little things like that. And when you have stuff like that, everything's just snowballs. So I expect him to be picking in the top 2-3 again next year. But it's going to suck, though, because Cam's going to have another hiccup in his development because he's going to have a new OC. He's probably going to have a new head coach and all that. So, I mean, they're just bad right now. And there's no other way to put that. So
I'm intrigued to see where they go head coach, because that next head coach is very critical, for Tennessee.
Hey, I know a guy that's coaching Josh Allen right there that sits up in the booth. Joe Brady.
He might be the guy. He might be the guy unless Tomlin comes available.
Yeah, Joe Brady, you want to come on down here and come to Nashville and do what you can do? Absolutely.
Going into the AFC West, you got the Broncos sitting at 6-2. You got the Chargers sitting at 5-3, and the Chiefs sitting at 5-3, and then you got the Raiders sitting at 2-5. I'm glad. I'm not too happy with how Bo Nix started out the games with the interception. When he threw that interception, I was like, oh God, like here we go again. But we did start out after that we did start out on a good note, and
that's me, y'all. That's me. I think that's me.
Room service, no.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I'm
mess
sitting there,
with you.
I'm sitting there looking around. Well, but I'm glad the way this team capitalized off that and beat up on the Cowboys like that. Pat Surtain being out with the torn pec for a couple weeks, that's going to hurt. But I'm hoping that the defensive front can continue the league leading sacks that they're on. I forget the exact number right now, but I know it's leading the league. And that's going to be the highlight of everything. You got to get to the quarterback first, and that's how the secondary looks good. Drake Greenlaw comes back this week, so we'll see what happens with that. Hopefully, he won't get injured. I'm sitting here like, man, we need to pull a trade off for Demario Davis down there
in New Orleans.
in New
Hey,
Orleans. And Sean
look,
Payton, go get your boy, go get your
hey,
boy. So,
all them top tier
uh,
teams be like, you don't need that guy right there, right?
Yeah.
Bring him here. Bring him here. That's what they be looking like. Like, I want that one right there. Like, okay.
So he's there.
His deal. Come on over here. Come on over here.
Yeah, he's down there just rocking down in New Orleans, man, and then with the Chargers, I know they Joe Alt just came back, so they're slowly getting some of their pieces back. What's the Khalil Mack? He's also coming back. He's also back too. So yeah, they're slowly getting their pieces back. I don't think they're going anywhere. The Chiefs, of course, they're not going anywhere. Kind of a little scared of this little matchup that we got coming up against them. I think is not next week, but the week after, because we got the toilet bowl guys coming up.
Toilet bowl guys go crazy.
When you seen that the stadium is kind of like that vacuum that rolls around.
Hey, yo, bro. Come on, man.
But
Hey, bro, that's crazy. I'm sorry, Amon, man. Look, like I said before the show, that's a safe space, man. Like, you need to talk. I'm here, bro. Like, I understand. I understand.
Oh boy.
But yeah, then you got the Raiders. I mean, yeah. What's your thoughts on the AFC West?
I'm gonna let you go first because
you need time to compress. I understand, brother. Look, here's the thing about the West. The West, in my mind, initially, I felt like the West on both sides were probably going to be the best divisions in football. I felt like the West were going to be able to do good things on both ends, and we've seen that so far. The Chargers, the Broncos, and the Chiefs are currently all in the playoffs as we speak. In the NFC, I believe it's the 49ers, the Rams, and the Seahawks. So the West teams are doing their thing so far in the league. But here's the thing. The Broncos are in the lead. If you're the Broncos, you got to do whatever it takes to keep it that way.
Please.
Whatever it takes, you have to do whatever it takes to keep it that way. I repeat, do not let Pat Mahomes and the crew find a way to sneak back and take that division lead, because we don't want them to have to go. This is just as a fan talking. This is a fan talking as a football fan in general. If you let the Chiefs get home field advantage in that playoffs, I've been in that. Like I said, when I was there on Monday, I understand completely why it is hard to play in there, and those fans are rabid. So don't let that happen, Denver. Whatever you do, don't let that happen, because they're starting to catch fire now. They were a little slow in the beginning. They're starting to figure out. Watch out for the Chiefs. The Chargers are the wild card in this, because they had the potential to be good. They remind me a lot of Green Bay to an extent, not maybe fully, where they have some young pieces that could really do some good things, but can they really take that potential and go to the next level? You got a good quarterback in Justin Herbert, and when I was in LA a couple weeks ago watching them, I was shocked how bad it looked. I was shocked how bad it looked, but since going 3-0, they've been 1-4 or something like that. They haven't played good football. No, so everybody was talking, even to myself. I'm like, yo, the Chargers look like they're ready to take this division. And guess what? The team that everybody, and Larry gave me some crap for when we had our preview show, and I said, look, man, Denver looks like that team that can do it. He said, don't do it to me, Darrell. Don't do it to me. But hey, they're doing it to themselves, bro. They look good right now. And then with the Raiders, I think the biggest thing with them is, at this point, you've got to figure out what real direction you want to go in. I feel like, and I think Amon would probably say the same thing, it doesn't feel like they have a true direction that they're going in right now.
Have they ever though?
To be honest with you, the last time I felt like they probably had a chance, well, the year that before Carr got hurt that year, I felt like 60. I felt like they were on the right path. Then once Carr got hurt, things just changed, and it went right back to where it was previous. I don't know. I don't know what they do. Bringing Tom Brady in is a very big piece, I think. But that conflict of interest of him being a part of the league, I think semi hurts them. Obviously, he's probably saying stuff behind the scenes that you know. And then, I mean, we don't have no proof of them like truly, like doing whatever. But if he ever steps away to try to like really help that team, I think he will be a very big part of where the mindset of that organization will be for the next 10 to 15 years. So I want to see him do well. I mean, when the Raiders are doing what they wanted, the best fan base in football, you want to see him do well. This is not what I understand why you don't, but you want to see that. And unfortunately, right now, I was still shocked that Pete Carroll was the choice. I understood it, but I still was shocked that he was the choice to be their head coach. So there's gonna be a lot going on here in the next year or so. There's gonna be a lot going on in the next year or so.
Amon, I want to ask you: do you think? And we may have talked about this, but do you think Pete is just that stopgap kind of coach to come in there until they get the guy that they want?
See, okay, I think we did touch on it. I think the guy that they really want is already in the building. A $6 million OC. I think he's there for a reason. I don't think he's there just to be the OC because it doesn't make any sense. Think about it, like the timeline. It just doesn't make sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got, Pete that I'm 70 guy. Pete, my grandma can kick it back at a.
All right.
At a function. They pick it back at the bingo game right now.
Hey, Pete, what are you doing here?
Yeah, they cool. You know what I mean? But I think he was brought in to be like a program stabilizer, for a couple years maybe, and then have a succession plan. And I could be wrong, but I firmly believe that the money that they paid Chip Kelly to leave Ohio State to come be the OC, he has some. He's going to factor in this long-term situation, in my personal opinion, because you just don't. He's the highest paid OC in the league, making $6 million a year. And you telling me you left Jeremiah Smith, Julian Sand, Alvaro Reese, that team to come back to the NFL without some kind of assurances or guarantees and say, hey, when Pete is done, we're going to give you maybe some super, super, super serious consideration to be the next head coach after Pete decides to, hey, I've got the program to where I can take it to. You do your thing and go ahead. You know what I mean? That's just I could be wrong. I could be totally off base. It could be totally wrong. But I don't see no other NFL OC making $6 million a year just to be a OC. Just to be an OC. That's a cool gig. If you're OC, you making $6 million a year. Hey, you ain't got no pressure on you. The head coach got to take all the questions. You ain't got to really come to the media like that. You just got to perform. But I think it's some underlying. Hey, when Pete decides to say, "Hey, this is enough," you're going to get some strong consideration for that head coaching job. This is my little galaxy brain going off. But right now, he ain't showing $6 million for offense right now. But that's here nor there.
There's a lot going on with that. Don't feel bad, brother.
Right now, but for the West in general, and I'm gonna be, not biased. I'm gonna be fair to each team here. Kansas City, they're getting back into rare form. Everybody's healthy. Rashid Rice is back. You can see he came back versus us a couple weeks ago, and they fed him the ball like they missed him for sure.
Yeah, they couldn't wait to get him back.
Couldn't wait.
He would have had 3 touchdowns on Monday. They called 2 of them back. And I was like, bro, like he's the number 1 receiver there.
Absolutely. Yeah. So they're loading up, and think about it. He wasn't there last year, and they made it to the Super Bowl with what they got. Hollywood wasn't there last year, and we know how when Hollywood's right and he's explosive and he's fast, he'll run past some people. Right. And then you got Kelsey, the man in that middle of the field. He's still dangerous now. Don't get me wrong. Even though he's about to be a whole married here in a little while with Taylor Swift, which congratulations to him or whatever the case may be. I just don't think that none of those teams in the West has enough firepower to keep up with Kansas City. If we really break it down, Andy Reid, coach factors, Andy Reid, Mahomes, and what Mahomes can do as a football player in general, I don't think the division has enough firepower to like keep up with them. Now, Denver, I will continue to say this: they have to. I looked at her. They have to show up the drops with Cortland Sutton.
Yeah.
We got to see Bo Nix with some pressure under him to throw the ball down the field and win some games. We've seen it with the Giants that he can do that. The Giants are the Giants. I get that. But can you get in the when the chips get pushed to the center of the table, you versus Mahomes, can you push that ball down the field to go down there and get a win? I want to see that consistently from him. As far as the Chargers, Herbert, we glorify Herbert. Hey, he's top 5 this, top 5 that. We see it all throughout the regular season, and then when we get to January, we see he turns into a pumpkin again, you know. and it's like, to me, it's like until you know how our parents always tell us, take a person, believe who they are when they tell you.
Right.
That's what I'm believing. That's who Herbert is until you change the narrative around that. And then for the Raiders, hey, what you said, you know. This is not about this year. This is about life after Geno. What direction are you going in? Are you going to be this type of team? Are you want to look for your guy for the future? Are you going to, make the rookies play so they can develop and be better players in year 2 and year 3? So the Raiders are a non-factor right now. But to me, it's about Denver and Kansas City in that division. Yes, we know Patrick Surtain is hurt right now, and that's a huge loss for that team for sure. Huge loss. Huge. But you still got Nick Bonito, Zach Allen, John, Cooper up front. Them boys still hunting or whatever the case may be. So that defense is going to keep you in some games. But
it's a lot of money on that defense.
A lot of money on that defense. But when your defense doesn't have it, and you got to go in the Arrowhead down by 6, a minute and 30. Payton got the play call sheet right here. Hey, Bo Nix, I'm about to give you this. If you don't have this, can you check out that? Can you push the ball down the field with that crowd? Can you deliver? And until Bo Nix can do that, I can't trust him. So that's why I'm going to say until I don't see Mahomes do 1,000,000 times. Until somebody say, hey, enough is enough. I'm Bo Nix. The Denver Broncos are here. I'm going to still roll with the Kansas City Chiefs because we've seen this book being wrote and read for the last 9-10 years in this division. Ever since Mahomes took his first snap, week 17 of 2017. We've seen it. And that second year, he just took off. And it's been his division or nobody's division for the last 10 years. So until somebody else say, hey, Bo Nix or Justin Herbert say, hey, look, that's enough of this. Kansas City, you got it until somebody else say otherwise.
So hopefully that year be that year. One question I want to ask you to Darrell, you pointed this out. Nobody wants to go to Kansas City, when they got home field advantage. But they've been doing this for so long. What if they had to go on the road to do it?
They went on the road last year.
Yeah, they went on the road last year. So what if they're a whole complete wild card team, and this year you're doing it again?
Yeah,
like.
If I'm New England right now, I'm nervous because if the playoffs started today, they would have to play the Chiefs, and you don't want 7 seed Kansas City coming into New England for no reason whatsoever. Right. I don't care what it is. I like if they're a lower seed. Whoever gets them in the playoffs is going to have a. You just don't want to have to deal with.
I don't. Yeah, if they're the 7th seed or the 5th seed, they're going to be the favorite, whether they're away or at home. They're going to be the favorite regardless. Yep. So it's like. To me, and I know what you're saying, Larry. I don't care if they got to go. If you put the Chiefs versus the Broncos in Shanghai, China for the AFC Championship, Chiefs still going to be favored by probably 3.5, 4.
Oh yeah.
Somebody just got to come up and say, you know what? Tired of this. It got to be some new kings in the AFC. Until I know I get tired of seeing Mahomes on media night on Super Bowl week. I get tired of seeing that, bro.
Yeah.
I'd rather see. I'd rather hate to say it, but
I
I'd
see Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson. Like, I want to see something different. The NFC gives us that. They give us something different every now and then. The Eagles were able to go in and do what they did last year, but you want to see like in the NFC right now. There's optimism.
right.
There's a couple guys in the NFC that go to the Super Bowl this year,
Right.
and you'd be like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. AFC,
right. Nope.
Obviously, there's guys, but it's the same thing when Tom Brady was there. I always said until you can beat Brady and prove it multiple times, it's hard for me to say that. The only person that got that over him is Burrow.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
And Burrow hasn't even been a factor in the playoffs the last couple of years. Like it's
since 21 when they went to the Super Bowl. So in the NFC, you got Stafford, Jordan Love, Jalen Hurts,
Baker Mayfield,
mm-hmm. Jaden Daniels. You probably got the way the daggone the Seahawks are playing. Sam Darnold. Hey, that's the Chicago. Jared Goff, Detroit, Caleb. If they keep, so that's two hands. We got quarterbacks that can represent the NFC, and then the AFC is like Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah,
and then you start thinking it's like, okay, who else? You can say Josh Allen, you can say Lamar, but until they do it, it's not even a conversation. You know what I mean? So.
And you make a great point because last year I forgot all about that they went on the road when they went on the road for the last two AFC Championship games.
Yeah,
and defeating Baltimore and then defeating Buffalo last year. So
because at one point they were always at home. But now they're just a problem wherever they go. So, but I'm telling you now though, he's just never lost a home playoff game. You do not want to go. You do not want to go through Kansas City. Like the road, you got a shot. At home, you might as well just give them the AFC Championship now. So
hang it up.
So we need you, Buffalo. We need you this week.
We need you, Buffalo. We need you. Come on, Buffalo.
Going to you had it. You finish up with the AFC one.
Yeah, I'm good.
Going to the NFC East, you got the Eagles sitting at 6-2. You got the Cowboys at 3-4-1. The Commanders at 3-5, and the Giants at 2-6. It looks like the Eagles are looking like they look like they're going all the way. Dallas, Dallas seems to be that one move away from actually doing something, but who's to say if that one move would actually put them over? Commanders, they're going through what they're going through right now. A lot of injury. Terry McLaurin's already not playing in this Sunday night's matchup. I'm not certain about Jaden Daniels as well. And then the Giants got too many injuries going on with Malik Neighbors going out in week 2?
4. It was
4. And then Cam Scatterbo going out this past week. So too many injuries, but I'm liking what they have going on with Jackson Dart. Continue to keep building around him. What are your thoughts on this NFC East, and can Philly go ahead and just skate off with this thing?
Well, I'll say this: like it is definitely looking at its Philly show. That's what it looks like right now. And in most cases, I would have said, maybe the Commanders are the next in line, but I think Dallas has the best next shot because Dallas had a chance to beat them in week 1. And if the weather did not happen, I think they win that game. Dallas' problem is, we saw it against Denver last week. Like, you come in with so much expectation, and it's like, okay, we see a different Dallas team, and then they treat you bad. But a lot of that is because their defense is not good. So the Dallas problem is they don't have a defense. They'll score all day when they can. They can get in. They can score 40 points. They can get in there and do something. They scored 40 points 2 or 3 times already this year. Now, granted, it was against the Cowboys. Against the Giants and the Commanders, but they can do it, and they've got the weapons on offense to do it. So the Cowboys, to me, are the team that gives the Eagles the most problems right now in that division. The way that the Giants were starting to look, they, in my mind, were starting like, wait a minute now, the Giants actually are playing good football right now. Like they figured it out, and then the injuries derailed them at the wrong time. And then speaking of injuries, the Commanders are just, it has been hard to watch because Jaden has been nicked up. So Jaden's missed 3 games. So you don't have a real evaluation of what Jaden Daniels can do this season. The best game he had was when he played against the Chargers. And even then, it wasn't his best game, but he played well in that game. In the Chicago game, mental mistake got him. And I just don't think he's fully healthy. So I think that's what's really hurting Washington. But it goes also on to just, the three guys that they brought in, the major guys. They brought in Jonathan Jones. They brought in Will Harris. They brought in Dietrich Wise. They brought those three guys in. Jonathan Jones is back now, but they're slowly bringing him along. And then you lost Wise and Harris for the season. And both of those guys were playing well. And like the new additions, so you lose your new additions, they go to the wayside. Debo is Debo, and Debo has been great this year when he's been on the field. But that injury bug finally caught up with him in Washington, and he wasn't really a factor in the game on Monday. So now you're like, okay, so what did they do here? And they're hurt at the worst possible time. I said last month after the Raiders game, after they played the Raiders, I remember saying, I'm like, look, if you're Washington right now, your best bet heading into like October and maybe at the beginning of November before you had the next home stretch, you want to go anywhere. Like you want to go 3-2, 2-2, but you can't go anything. You can't go anything worse than like 2-2. And they went 1-3. And it's like you just could not have that happen. There were some tough games, and I thought they would have beat Dallas. It just didn't happen. They had the Bears on the ropes. They fumble. They're in a bad spot right now. They had Kansas City. You got the Seahawks. You got the Lions. The Dolphins played better last week, and I'm like, if you get that Dolphins team, you're in trouble. Then they got a bye. Then you got Denver on Sunday night. We see that Denver's a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I'm very worried about the Commanders right now. Can they win this game this week? Yes, they can. They can win that game against Seattle this Sunday night. Will they? Whole nother story. So that's the division for me. Eagles for the taking. Cowboys are the team to watch out for if there's going to be somebody to give the Eagles a problem. Then, the Giants, unfortunately, injuries have torn them up, and the Commanders are the same way. Until the Commanders get healthy, I don't know what else to say on that end. I just don't, some teams that, not everybody can be San Francisco and play your 4-string guys and win games. So not everybody can be San Francisco. So,
Mo?
Yeah. I think everything Mr. Owens said was right down to a T. I'm gonna start from the bottom up. Jackson Dart, the Giants, man. I want to give Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston a lot of credit for, because I see the maturation with Jackson Dart from week 1 to week whatever we're in right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's a probably one. If you look at the totality of the league, that's probably the best quarterback room in the league, as far as having a rookie with 2 vets that have played at a high level in this league. One being a number 1 overall pick, and Russell being, a 3rd round pick winning a Super Bowl. That's a lot of knowledge in that room. And I think, we all questioned the Jackson Dart pick when it happened back in April, but obviously they know stuff that we don't know on a daily basis. So
right.
I think that they got their next guy. Now it's all about, hey, let's get a fully healthy Malik Neighbors. Let's get a fully healthy Cam Scatterbull. You still got Tyrone Tracy. Let's surround this guy with more weapons. Theo Johnson. Oh, and by the way, Brian Burns, he still got a super duper contract. Dexter Lawrence on the contract. You drafted Abdul Carter, number 3 overall, which we thought was the best player in the draft last year. You got him at 3. Then you still got Kayvon Thibodeau, which they said they're not trading him. I don't know how true that is, but to keep him, he's a top 5 pick a couple years ago. And then you got my guy from Miami that came over, the safety.
I know who you're talking
Javon
about.
Holland.
Yeah, Javon Holland. So they're setting themselves up for success. So we know they're looking more towards down the road. And then for Dallas, man, it's just, if one team's going to give Philly issues, it's going to be Dallas, only because of how explosive they are on offense. Like, now, can they stop somebody? They had a guy that could stop somebody, but he's playing in Green Bay right now. And as on a terror, they're on another level right now. So he's playing up north. be wild when he starts seeing them icicles come on his nose. He ain't ever played no weather like that before.
He gonna be all right.
Yeah,
We're
he
gonna,
gonna be all right. He gonna be all right.
we're gonna go put him in like we're gonna go take him ice fishing or something. We're gonna get him straight. We'll get him
Get
straight before the playoffs. Yeah.
And then, like you said, for the Commanders, man, it's just injuries. You can't have, Terry, Debo being hurt, Jaden being hurt, just some inconsistencies in the lineup. It's just rough right now for Adam Peters in the game. But that's why, these players hold out for their money. Look at Terry. He fought down to the very last day to get paid. Now look at him. He hasn't been right since he messed his quad up versus Vegas on that touchdown. They got called back. He hasn't been right since then. So that's why these players, hold out for their money, man. They hold in now. They don't hold out. They hold in.
Yeah.
They hold in. So
go to social media and start talking crazy.
Yeah.
And that's also why the owners also hold out too. It's like, man, we don't want to see him pay you, and then you
get hurt.
1,000%. But it's a double-edged sword. You understand both sides, man. But it's just unfortunate, man. We thought we would see the Commanders take off and just pick up where they left off last year, NFC Championship. And that's still on the table. They're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. It's just can they get healthy and start clicking at the right time to make a push. And then Philly, long as A.J. Brown crying for the ball and they're getting in the ball, they're going to be fine. Yeah, man. Philly going to do what Philly do. Ain't much to say about those boys.
Yeah, Washington gonna have to find a way to be at the minimum at as of the year. They need to be at 500 going into December, and I don't know how they figure that out, but they got to figure it out because that's the only way they got a chance.
They got to figure it out. The only way to get into the tournament. They got to figure it out.
3-5 right now with the Vikings, the Falcons, the Cowboys, the Panthers, and the Bears in front of them right now. So right now they're sitting 9th in the wild card spot.
All winnable games. Every last one of them. So they can be 7-5 in a month here. And they can be, we don't know if there's fool's gold or we don't know what it could be, but those games are winnable games. So, like I said, they're not out of it for sure. They're just going to have to keep pace with Philly and pray that the injury bugs stay away from them for a little while longer.
Yeah, it's going to be tough.
That's not the team they're playing. Those teams that's in front of them in the wild card.
Oh, that's in front of the wild card.
No. The teams they playing is ugly. They got.
I heard you wrong.
Yeah. They got Seattle Lions, Dolphins, Broncos. Then they have Minnesota, which I think Minnesota may be playing a little bit better by that time.
Okay, so I definitely heard you wrong then. Ouch. Okay, if that's the case, let me change my tune.
It's rough.
They got to be a minimum. Like my boy said, 500 come December because I thought they were all the next on that schedule. Okay, well I heard you wrong. So those are teams that are in front of them in the.
Yeah, so we don't know what the Vikings are going to look like. The Falcons are so up and down. The Cowboys, they might be trending up, depending. And then the Panthers, I don't.
The Panthers are just there.
With that being said, those teams, the Falcons, the Panthers, the Cowboys, they all have their flaws, which each team do. It's just which team is going to capitalize or who they're playing in front of them on each and every Sunday. That's all it is. If you look at it in totality, you're like, man, they ain't got a chance. But if you take it each Sunday is any given Sunday, anybody can beat anybody. So
absolutely. But I don't see them beating. Well, I don't see the Lions, the Rams, or the 49ers coming out of the wild card spots right there. I mean, anything still happen, but
it's tough. Like somebody's gonna have to get beat up towards the end of the season. I hate to say the NFC is already feeling like a lock, but it kind of does. Like
think about it. The 49ers got a wild card spot.
I think
they got the third wild card spot right now.
Yeah, and they don't have their superstars. They're on the sideline. So
yeah, they get healthy. Who knows? Who knows what that's gonna be like? I'm telling you.
Exactly.
Going to the NFC North, you got the Packers sitting at 5-1-1, the Detroit Lions sitting at 5-2, the Bears at 4-3, and the Minnesota Vikings sitting at 3-4. With that Vikings team, unfortunately, what they're going through with the signal caller situation, hopefully JJ is back pretty soon. Because that team's pretty talented with a competent quarterback there. The Bears, just so up and down, man. That was a game against the Ravens. That's a game that you should not lose. And then Caleb Williams with his decisions, throwing the ball all the way on. You're already in your own team's red zone, and you can sit in and throw a pass like that. It's just I don't like decisions like that. The Lions, I mean, they seem like they're gonna be trending in the right direction, and then with the Packers, yeah, Michael Parsons out there tearing things up, and I think that they're gonna be coming along in the right time, especially with this receivers that they have over there. You guys thoughts, Mr. Rollback? Yeah, I'll go to you first because since your team is sitting in
Yeah,
first
man.
in the North. Well, what's your thoughts on this division?
Well, I'll talk Green Bay last because I'll probably get. I have like I told Amon earlier, we all have a different opinion when it comes to your team because you know a little bit more. So I'm gonna start at the bottom here. Look, here's the problem with Minnesota. You got rid of Sam Darnold, and if you don't get rid of Sam Darnold with that defense, with who you have on offense, you're probably either second in the division right now, or maybe even leading the division right now. Minnesota, this is the second time they've done this. They did this when Case Keenum got them to the NFC Championship game. And until this day, I remember I'm like, and as much as Kirk Cousins got him one playoff win. They spent all that money and got him one playoff win. Case Keenum got you to the NFC Championship game, and you didn't bring them back. And I had a feel, I knew they were going to do it. I knew it. I said last year, I was like, please, Minnesota. I remember saying on the show, I'm like, don't do what you did last time. Keep Sam Darnold and keep thriving. And if Sam doesn't work out eventually, then you bring JJ in. You don't have to rush. The Packers are the proof in the pudding. Don't let the outside sources pressure you into starting somebody who's not ready yet. Maybe JJ needed more time to marinate. You know what I'm saying? But the problem is you got rid of Sam Darnold and you ruined that team's chemistry. They were 14-3 last year. They got pretty much everybody back. They got everybody back, and they're not playing up to par. Why? Because you can't keep a quarterback healthy. Carson Wentz is gone for the season. JJ missed 6 games, and JJ didn't play at all last year. So that's right. In his NFL career, he's played 2 games. Now, and I try to want to give him like some time because he's only played 2 games. But you've missed, if you were the starter, you've missed what, 22, almost 20-something games so far. And that's what's hurting Minnesota. You shouldn't have never gave Sam Darnold away. The Bears, just up and down. They could not afford to lose that game against the Ravens. I don't want to say it would have been a coming out party, but it would have been a coming out party if they could have won that game. Even with the Ravens being as beat up as they are, you beat the Ravens, and it would have just gave it a little bit more luster to what they're trying to do as an organization. But what it proved to me is they're still not ready just yet. And it's something they got to figure out. Detroit to me is a team that's still going to win this division. And I'm not just saying that because, whatever. Detroit just has this vibe about them that, they're going to find a way to yeah. I mean, I picked them at the beginning of the season to win the division. I'm still going to go with them because I say that because Green Bay from week to week will give you what they gave you in Pittsburgh in the second half and be like, bro, if that team's playing all the time, who are they losing to? Right? But then you get the first half Green Bay and you say, who is this team? like what are you doing here? And it's the inconsistencies for me for Green Bay that makes me say I don't know yet if they can win the division and really be the team that a lot of people know they can be. They're still the youngest team in football, and they every now and then they prove why they're the youngest team in football. Just not smart decisions. Then that's why I say I look at a team that has a crafty veteran quarterback in Jared Goff and say, hey, look, the Lions are a little bit more battle tested, and yes, they did lose that playoff game to the Commanders, but they're a little bit more battle tested. They were this close to going to the Super Bowl 2 years ago.
Yeah,
it's hard for me to root against that. Other than the fanhood, but yeah, I'm gonna go Lions, but the Packers, it's going to be close. It's going to be close. It's going to be real close.
Yeah, I'm right along the lines where you are. Minnesota, they just, they have to figure out their quarterback situation with JJ. Larry, I believe in JJ. I think he's a gamer. It's unfortunate he hasn't had the opportunity to show it consistently. We had the one good game where she came back versus Chicago on Monday night, like week 2 or whatever. But that was it. He been hurt since then. So, like I said, when Sam Darnold, left, I think that playoff game that they lost. Was it a playoff game or was it the last game of the season that they lost? They played Detroit and they got beat pretty bad. I don't know.
It was the game before because they lost to the Rams in the playoffs.
Right. I think that game kind of left a bad taste in Minnesota's mouth and was like, okay, yeah, this is our ceiling with Sam Darnold. You know what I mean? And it was like, you know what, we gotta kick the roof in, you know. And you swung and you hit on you're betting on JJ. So and obviously it's not working out right now. And Sam Darnold's making you guys liars over there in Seattle. So until we can get that situation shored up, they're gonna, be right where they are. And then for Chicago, like they're not ready yet. I see flashes and glimpses of a good team.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see a little more of Colston Loveland in the past game. Maybe I haven't been watching Chicago enough.
No, you're right.
I haven't
you're right.
Drafted him in the top 10. I want to say he was a 10th overall pick, I think. I want to see a little more of him. Some more pass rush help for Montez Sweat. I don't see a pass rusher opposite of him, so give him some help. I don't think Jalen Johnson's played this year at all. He's been hurt.
I don't remember seeing him in the game the other week, so no, I don't think
he's been hurt. So Kevin Byard has been that saving grace on the back end. Trust me, I know from firsthand experience. Geno Smith through whatever.
Don't do it to yourself. Don't do it to yourself.
But it's flashbacks right now. So they're not ready just yet. I can see them maybe being a year away from catching up to Green Bay to compete with Detroit in that division. And then with the Lions, man, they're battle tested. They've been there, done that. Congratulations to Aiden Hutchinson getting a big bag. Big bag. He got one of them $5 bags from Wendy's. Them big bags.
The biggie bags. He gave him a $5 biggie bag.
He got
$180 million biggie bag, baby. Come on now,
bag, man. And think about it. He's just 24, so at 28, he can be able to cash in again for another biggie bag. So,
man,
yes. So big ups to him getting that rookie extension. So congratulations. He's going to wreak havoc for the next 15 years in that division. So, and keep building around Aleem McNeil. He's back now. He tore his ACL last year. He's getting healthy. I think Marcus Davenport is supposed to be coming back around to be playing a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the injury history with him or how long he is and his recovery or whatever. And Brian Branch and Terry Arnold, he needs to step up a little more. You drafted him in the first round out of Alabama a few years ago in the 20s. So you need to see some of that Alabama pedigree come out on the NFL level. He's capable of doing that from college a few years ago, because him and JJ battled in the Rose Bowl game in the college football playoffs. So I've seen him play. He needs to step up. And then with the Packers, man, I know my boy, he's wanted the Lions to win the division. I think the Packers are going to win the division because I think they are a good football team. Obviously, you know them a lot better than I do for sure. I just believe in Jordan Love. I'm a big fan of Josh Jacobs, even though he wears the Packers colors now. I'm always going to believe in him. Incredible story, incredible man, incredible guy. So I'm always going to root for him. And then you get the ultimate chess piece from a team that just didn't want him. They didn't want to pay him his worth in Dallas. And you got Micah, and you're seeing other people's games take off. Devontae Wyatt. You're seeing Lucas Van Ness. You're just seeing
Rashawn Gary's having a good year.
Gary, Adrian Cooper, Quay Walker, Keyshawn Nixon. Keyshawn Nixon was a dang on special teams player for the Raiders, and he's a starting corner out there for the Green Bay Packers.
They need to trade him. They need to get him out of town as soon as they possibly can. One more PI. I'm going to go to Green Bay personally myself. It's getting out of control. Every game, he almost cost us that game on Sunday night.
Really?
If they didn't bounce back, the penalties that he would get. It's just he's a liability out there.
Yeah,
Hobbs has done no better, but Hobbs has been a little bit better than him.
Right.
And then Valentine has been the guy. Valentine's come off in the third. He's been the third man out there doing some good things. So
right, and that's why so that's why I wasn't too. And I know I'm getting off rails here, but I wasn't too hurt about losing Hobbs because I know his injury history.
Yeah.
And his inconsistent play was a no-go in Vegas. That was like, yeah, just go ahead and
stay out of here, buddy.
Yeah, save that $40 million. Let somebody else play that, pay that money. But for this division, I just believe in their offense. I just love their offense with Jordan Love throwing the ball, Romeo Dobbs, Christian. The tight ends, let me tell you, That young
Oh,
man,
Tucker Craft, my God.
that young man,
Very proud of
we need
him.
to start putting some respect on his name and putting him in that Trey McBride conversation.
Yeah.
I ain't saying he Brock or Kelsey or Kittle or none of those guys yet, but in next year, 2 years from now, hey, I need to sit at the table.
I told my boy the other day. I said, man, we got George Kittle and Travis Kelce at home. Why do we need one of those guys? We got them at home. I was like, we're good. I'm very. And here's the thing: Luke Musgrave is no slouch neither. He got a little beat up. So he was the starter at one point, and then once Kraft got the opportunity because Musgrave got hurt, Kraft has never given it back.
Absolutely.
He's never given it back. I mean, they young, super talented. Just gotta bring it all together. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, but I'm picking Green Bay to win his division. I just something about this team. Some is right. You know how something's right, or you got a sense that something's going to go right with this team, and I got a feeling that something's going to go right with the back. I ain't going to win the Super Bowl or anything like that, but they're going to be a tough out.
Yeah,
I'll take that.
It could be a tough one.
I'll take that.
I could definitely see Detroit getting some kind of pass rusher as well doing the trade deadline. I don't know who that is. Maybe that could be Max if they want to go that way.
Oh my God! Why you do that to him?
Don't
come on, Larry.
My purpose as a Bronco fan is to make your life a living hell. And
my God, I'm so sorry, man. You don't deserve that. I'm sorry. That's don't take the little joy that he has. Why would you do that to him? Just take the little joy you got, man.
Moving on to the NFC South, you got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers sitting at 6-2. You got the Carolina Panthers at 4-4. The Falcons sitting at 3-4. The Saints sitting at 1-7. The Saints, oh man, why didn't you just pick Shador when you had the chance? But then you're starting Tyler Shuck. Of course, Spencer Rattler not working out. You starting Tyler Shuck this week. We'll see how that goes. Atlanta so up and down, and so you beat Buffalo one week, and then you laying a goose egg to Carolina another week, and then it's bad. I don't know who else did they just recently lose to. Miami. Miami.
You lose to Miami, bro. You beat the Bills and then can't beat Miami or the Panthers.
And I'm not about to crash out, but I took Kirk Cousins in a fantasy league this past week. Why did I do that?
Oh my God.
Because I'm looking at Miami and I'm like, you had the worst run defense. You had one of the worst defenses in the league. Kirk coming back, this could be the perfect opportunity to put up some good numbers. Nope, I was wrong. Bijan, nobody, a no show. So with Atlanta, I'm not sold. I mean, the defense is playing a little better than what they were last year. But for a whole team, I think Raheem Morris is not a head coach. I think he's just a defensive coordinator at best. That's okay.
Yep.
I think after this season they need to go ahead and just, hey, we're done here. Carolina, I love the job that Dave Canales is doing. So far, you got him sitting at 4-4. Need a little bit more consistency. Bryce Young, I see what he's doing. I just don't like short quarterbacks. It just does nothing for me. But he's out there making plays, and you starting with Ted, and you got Rico Dotto out there playing well, and Chuba Hubbard out there backing him up now after they just signed Chuba to an extension in the offseason.
Hey, they gotta go with the hot hand though.
Gotta go with the hot hand.
Yep.
And speaking of the hot hand, it seems like Tampa Bay's they got the hot hand. You got the hot rookie in the Mecca Ibuka. And even though they took the loss, no, they actually beat Tampa Bay this past. They beat New Orleans this past week. But then they lost to, who did they lose to the week before?
They lost to who did Tampa Bay lose to last week? It was ugly too. They lost like 24-9, I think, and I don't know why I can't think of who it is.
To the Lions.
Yeah, there you go. It was 24-9 Lions.
So that's one of the games that you would hope that they would show up for, because that's a game that they probably could see in the postseason.
And they beat them last year.
And they beat them last year.
They beat the Lions and the Eagles last year, and then lost to both of them this year.
So, my question to you guys is: this Tampa Bay's division for the taking?
Yeah.
We're not even. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, they did not. Unless Tampa just are losing people, that's the only way I see anybody else winning this division. The Falcons is going into the season with a team I thought, you have all the pieces offensively. A decent offensive line. Penix looked like he was on the way up. And then you got London and Bijan, who looks like Saquon did last year. I mean, they had pieces. Kyle Pitts was even playing better. And I'm like, okay, maybe this is it. And they have regressed.
Yeah.
Which is not what they did. They got better on defense.
Sure.
And they regressed.
Yeah, I thought it was big fireworks in Atlanta, with Penix, London, Bijan, Pitts, Mooney. All those guys. I thought
before they let him go.
Yep. I thought it was about to be fireworks, and it's not. You're not getting that. Penix not seeing the ball in the middle of the field. He's not making middle field reads. He's throwing everything is beyond the numbers, man. I mean, outside the numbers, and it's just disappointing to me. But to keep it short and sweet, this division is Tampa's to lose until Bows said, I don't want to quit. I don't want to play. I don't want to coach no more.
Yeah, I wanted to piggyback a little bit, Larry, what you said about Canales. Canales has done a really good job there in Carolina. We started seeing it at the end of last year, and what they're doing right now, because even though it started rough this year, like they've played so much, like the last 3 or 4 weeks, they played some really good football. I don't want to take that. They did lose this past week, but they played some really good football leading up in that. They didn't have Bryce, and I think that the momentum of not having Bryce there, and nothing against Andy Dalton, but sometimes when you're going with somebody and things are going well, it's hard to it's hard to have somebody just step in and do what they've been doing, and that confidence that the team has probably had in Bryce over the last couple of weeks. I'm very proud of this Panthers team. I know it's 4-4, but 4-4 for them is really good. It is really good, and
1,000%.
They got Green Bay this week, and I tell somebody, I'm like, this is the type of game that Green Bay has to be careful for, because they will play like they did against Pittsburgh, and then this is the setup game, and they'll play like they did against Arizona, against Carolina. So if your Carolina fans don't go in there, so Green Bay just going to do whatever. No, you got to be. There's a chance. Yeah. And then the Saints are the Saints. Yep. That's it. Saints are the Saints.
Simple as that. But keep it short and sweet with them. But it's going to be interesting before we move on to the next division. The Panthers are going to have to make a decision, because somebody's fifth-year option will be coming up here very, very, very soon.
Yep.
You have to make a decision. Hey, are you going to spend that money, or what are we doing with Bryce Young? We know it's been a little shaky the past couple of years. You benched him last year for a couple of weeks. Came back, he played fine, and then he's inconsistent here and there. So the big decision coming up here for the organization.
Big decision. It's a big decision.
Because there's next quarterback class is not as sexy as we thought it would be going into the college football season.
Mm-hmm.
But you want to have your butt covered too, just in case you want to move on from Bryce. Not saying they will, but there's a conversation going to be had at some point about what we're going to do at the quarterback position long term.
In the last division, we got NFC West. We got the Seahawks sitting at 1 right now, with the LA Rams also 5-2, sitting at 2, and then you got San Francisco at 5-3, with the Arizona Cardinals sitting at 2-5. So the first 3 teams, they had 5 wins right now.
Yep.
Who will come out on top in this division? Is it going to be Seattle, LA, San Francisco, who's banged up? I'm doing the same thing, Amon.
Yeah, I mean, we said it when we did our preview show together. We said that look, the West it's going to be a dogfight. We knew it was going to be a dogfight, and it's just who gets hot at the end of the season. That's what it feels like. If I had to say, I still put my money on the Rams, because when the Rams are healthy, they just overall as a team on paper, they just are the best team in my opinion. You got the veteran quarterback that's won a Super Bowl. You got a great young defense. A really solid young offensive line. You got Devontae Adams. You got Puka Nacua. I mean, the only thing I would like to see them maybe like get upgraded as a tight end, that's when you go get a Njoku from the Browns, because you bring him in, they're going. I'm not gonna say I picked them to go to the Super Bowl, and I still stick by it. I picked the Rams to go to the Super Bowl, but I think if you're the Rams, you want to go to the Super Bowl, you go get a Njoku. You go do that. But the Rams are my choice. But Seattle has surprised me. I will say that Seattle has surprised me. I thought they would compete, but they have surprised me. So,
yeah, man. It's going to be, for me, the Rams is the cream of the crop in that division. Everything you said was spot on. If you go get a tight end, yes, they have Terrence Ferguson as a tight end. He's a rookie.
Yeah.
He's not there yet, but you see flashes of them. Stafford getting him the ball. You got Devontae Adams, which is probably going to be a Hall of Famer at some point when he's all said and done with him. We all know what he did with Green Bay and his little time with the other teams that he had. He's still that dude, man. He's still that guy. I don't care where you put him at. He's still that guy. I'm about to get off this. Y'all.
I'm sorry, man. Like you said it, man. We weren't even talking about it.
Yeah, man.
I'm sorry, man.
It's so rough. It's so, but nevertheless, he's still that guy. He proved it the other week here when he went over to London and just destroyed the Jaguars literally by himself. There's no corner in that division probably that can cover him. So with Seattle, man, you got Sam Darnold playing good ball. JSN, he looking like the second coming of whoever. Michael Irvin.
He's been great.
JSN
has been great.
He's on another level right now. And then that defense of Seattle's, there's a whole bunch of guys that are not household names, but like the Colts we said a while ago here, them boys ball, man. They're stingy on the defensive side.
Yeah.
Of the ball. They're Mike McDonald, he's doing a good job, with that defense. And then for the 49ers, I think the health, with them, their superstars, has kind of just going to wear out on them. Losing Warner, Kittle being hurt. Purdy, you haven't seen Ayuk yet this season. We all know how fickle CMC is.
I forgot he was on the team.
You know what I mean?
I forgot he was on the team.
You know how fickle CMC is with his injuries, and Jawan Jennings been banged up. So somebody's always on the injury report that's big for them, and I don't think they can sustain that over the next couple of weeks. And then for Arizona, it's time to move on from Kyler Murray. You don't have the experiment. You don't see him. He is what he is. No disrespect to Kyler. He just need another fresh.
It's just a change of scenery.
Change of scenery, bro.
I mean, but Brissett has looked better in the offense the last 2 weeks than Kyler has.
When they I don't know what team they played. I think they played the Colts. I think.
Yeah, they had the Colts on the run, and they almost came back on Green Bay. So like you almost beat the two best teams in the league, record rise in back-to-back weeks.
Yep.
With Jacoby Brissett.
Yep, and he threw for like 350 on the Colts.
But that goes to Larry's point. Short quarterbacks, man.
Yeah.
Sometimes they work out, sometimes they don't. Not everybody can be Drew Brees. Not everybody can be early Russell Wilson.
There you go.
You can't. It's a hard thing to do.
Absolutely. So yeah, man, that's still on the NFC West.
So that's our the roundup from around the league. Darrell, we're gonna get your opinion about these picks coming up for week 9 before we head out of here. Starting with Baltimore at Miami. Baltimore's favored by 7.5. Can Lamar get this team back on the right track?
I got Baltimore winning. I think they'll be right back where they need to be offensively. The defense will still be, and thank God they're playing the Dolphins. So I think this will be a nice little bounce back for Lamar and the Ravens.
Amon.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a nice little bounce back for Lamar and the Ravens. And they're just going. Derrick Henry is going to run the ball all kind of which ways, and he probably scored 2 or 3 times tomorrow night.
Yeah, I got the Ravens tomorrow too as well. And you know how these Thursday night games been going. I wouldn't be surprised if Miami. If Miami, remember a couple years ago when these two teams played on like Thursday night football. I don't know what the NFL obsession with that is, but remember when Miami just ran cover 0 the whole game and just gave Lamar fits.
Lamar couldn't throw the ball. He couldn't throw the ball.
He couldn't throw the ball at all.
Yeah, I remember that.
So
it was killing Lamar.
So I don't know. I think last year these two teams had a game. I don't know if it was Thursday night, but I know they probably played. But I don't know what the NFL's obsession is. It kind of reminds me of like the Bears and the Packers on that the first Sunday night football game of the
Yeah,
year.
they were doing that for a while, or the Giants and the Cowboys. They had that Jake going on for like 5 years in a row. I'm like, you gotta pick somebody else. Like you gotta mix it up a little bit. Just a little
Yeah.
bit.
So we're all on the Ravens. We got the Broncos going against the Texans. I'm kind of scared of this one right here. I know the Texans don't have their full arsenal of receivers, but with Pat Surtain being out, that's always kind of a concern. Not too concerned about the pass rush, and hopefully see we can give CJ some fits. Um, I'm going to say that Denver still does pull it out close. The total set at 39.5, so they're expecting a low scoring game. What do you guys think?
I'm going with Denver. I just don't know if the Texans have enough offensively. Especially with that Denver defense. I really think they're going to give CJ some problems. The running game is still kind of trying to figure it out. So yeah, I got Denver.
Houston.
Ah, makes sense. Makes sense. I'm not mad. I'm like not mad.
It's Houston. No explanation needed. Just Houston.
Okay, I got Denver in this one. The 49ers at the Giants. I'm gonna go ahead and just take the 49ers in this one. I think the Giants a little taking too much of a beating here. And then the 49ers can go ahead and take advantage of that.
Before Scatterboo got hurt, I was going to pick the Giants in this game. Seriously, like I think they were on the right path, but I want to go with San Fran.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with San Fran. So I think that Scatterboo injury kind of like deflated the season a little bit. The Malik Neighbors injury, don't get me wrong, that hurt the Giants too. But those two rookies in that New York media,
the swag, man, the swag was different. The swag was different.
The aura, the attention, the good positive vibes they had. They had something working. Now he's not there with dislocated ankles. Like take the wind out your sails a little bit. You come back into reality now, and it's like, I ain't got my dog with me. I ain't got my man with me to run with me. I ain't got a leak out here. It's like,
what do you do?
Yeah, what do we do? Let's just get through the season. So I'm gonna take the 49ers banged up and all to come on top.
It's like that injury just took the life out of that team.
It did.
And even when you going back to like I don't know. I think it was the game before where Jackson Dart was sitting in the tent and then Cam came in there and peeked his head in there. It's like, wait, what's going on here?
Good, man.
He got fined for that. Him, Dayball got fined for that.
Dayball went there and say, "Hey,
Dayball know he wasn't supposed to be in there. He saw Russ throw the ball at the ground one time and said, "Hey,
what's going on? What's going on? We good? We good? Hey, man." Yeah, that's how you know, man. This job on the line, boy. I need my
man was willing to take the fine.
Hey, that's how you know you want to keep your job.
That's when you know it's rough.
Yes,
but and last thing before that, those two guys are saving Dayball's job. They were saving his job. So if Jackson continues to develop, I think he may get one more year.
I think he got one more. I think they've shown flashes of what they could do with those three healthy to give him another year to add to those leak Scatterboo and Jackson. So I think he gets one more year. I think he's done enough to get one more year.
I would hope so.
Does Shane stay in the league?
No, he got to go.
That's the tricky part.
Yeah,
that's the tricky part.
Give his son the job.
There you go.
We got a big one here. Colts at Steelers. The total set at 50.5. The Colts favored by 3.5. This could be a game where the Steelers get back right. The Colts on a run, right? On quite a run here. And history shows when teams are on these kind of runs, a veteran-led team with like Pittsburgh, I think they can come in and get this one done. What do you guys think?
I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna probably regret this later. I'm gonna go with Pittsburgh. I think they just found a way to sneak it. That's all I got for this. Because I feel I'm going to be wrong, and that's okay. But I just they got to get the monkey off their back. They haven't beat them in Pittsburgh since 2008. So I'm going Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Colts. They're just the hottest team in the NFL right now, and they're playing good team ball, like I stated a few minutes ago. They're playing good ball, and until somebody can come in and just knock them off, I'm gonna roll with the Colts. Bad as I hate to say it right now, but Larry, you're proving everybody right about the Daniel Jones comeback player of the year thing. So I'm gonna give respect when respect due. Daniel Jones in the Colts this week.
You got the Panthers at the Packers. The total was set at 44.5. Packers favored by 13.5. Do they cover the spread, Darrell?
I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Like I know Green Bay, they'll probably win by like 10, maybe 7. Like they're gonna make Carolina's gonna make this game's gonna be way closer than it probably should be. So I got Green Bay winning, but they're gonna make it difficult. They can't just go in there and beat somebody up like they're supposed to. So yeah, I got Green Bay, but I think it's about like 7. I think it's about 7.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Green Bay to win by at least 10. Probably get a couple interceptions in there from whoever played. And Lord Jesus, I hope if Andy Dalton playing, they might win by 17. But
yeah, if Bryce Young is playing, then I will say it's a tighter game. But if not, then maybe it's the 10 then. So
yeah, so I'm gonna say Green Bay going to take care of business.
Those two teams played last year, right?
They did, and Carolina, they barely beat Carolina. It was like 33-30 in Carolina. So it was that was either last year or year before last, but it was a tight game though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was going to say I think Bryce had a pretty good game. Somewhere.
He did. They were in there. I was so pissed at that game. I said, "What is this?" I was like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "What are we doing, guys?" That was year before last. It was year before last because that was like we lost to the Giants, lost to Tommy DeVito, aka Matilda's dad, and then we lost to the Bucks, and then barely beat Carolina, and then had to beat Minnesota and the Bears just to make the playoffs. So yeah, that was the year before last.
Okay, the Vikings at the Lions. The Lions favored by 8.5. I kind of feel sorry for this Vikings team right here. I think the Lions going to go ahead and take care of business here.
Lions.
Chargers at the Titans. Chargers favored by 9.5. Well, Amon, we're not gonna feel good about this one. I think the Chargers are gonna go ahead and take care of business in this one.
1,000%.
Can I pick the Houston Oilers? I don't know. No, I got the San Diego Chargers. That's how bad this is gonna be. I got the San Diego Chargers.
Yeah. The Falcons at the Patriots. The Patriots favored by 5.5. This one right here could be a tricky one.
Weird one.
I wonder is Penix playing? Is he starting?
I haven't heard 100%. I know he was still questionable the last time I checked. If I had to be honest with you, I think New England wins, but this is an extremely tricky game because this would be this is the type of game the Falcons would win.
Yeah.
This is exactly the type of game like, we want our revenge. Like, no, it's you're late, but don't I got New England, but don't be surprised.
I'm gonna take Atlanta.
It's not a bad choice.
I'm gonna take Atlanta just to be like, hey, I told you so. I gotta have something.
I gotta have a told you so.
I'm gonna take Atlanta.
That's funny.
I just got a weird feeling about that one, so I think I'm gonna take Atlanta too. I'm not too confident about it. Bears at the Bengals. Is this a Caleb Williams get right game with all the things that Cincinnati got going on?
If Joe doesn't play, the Bears should win because I know that Joe dealing with an AC joint sprain, so they're talking like he may not play. You know what? I'm still gonna pick the Bengals. There's something about the Bears. It's not because I hate them or anything. It's just something about Chicago. They actually pissed me off because I just knew they were going to beat the Ravens, and I'm just like, you suck. You lose to the Lamar Jackson-less Ravens.
Tyler Snoop Huntley, bro.
Snoop, like he channeling 5 years ago. Snoop Huntley, come on, man.
Pro Bowl quarterback Snoop Huntley. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah. I wish I had the Denny Green soundbite. You know.
I'm gonna send it to you. I got it.
They are who we thought they were.
I'm gonna send it to you when we get off. Hey, I got it. It was like a class. It was on TikTok. It was like a classic head coach rants, and it had like a top 10, and it had like playoffs. Herm Edwards playoffs, and Jim Moore Hello, you play to win the game. Oh, it's all of them. They had Ryan Leaf going off at the media.
The reporter. Yeah,
I'm gonna send it to y'all once we get off. I saw it. I cried.
That's funny.
I wonder if they got Mike Gundy's famous one on there. Come after me.
Come after me. I'm a man.
I'm 40.
I'm 40. I'm a man.
They had Mike Singleton when he sent Vernon Davis to the locker room.
Oh yeah,
don't do it. Oh, they had all of them on it.
It's so funny. We was talking about this on Monday at the game, and me and my boy Brandon Waters, he's a photographer. We was talking about that exact same one. Can't do it, won't do it.
Won't do it. Set up to the showers at halftime, boy. Man.
Going to the 4:00 games, we got the Jaguars at the Raiders. This has got to be a Trevor Lawrence get back right game, and beat up on the Raiders, man, and force them to make a decision about Max and keeping them in that hole, man.
I'm sorry, Amon. I can't condone his actions. Now I agree with him. I am going to pick Jacksonville, but it's mostly because I just don't know the direction the Raiders want to go in. So.
Yeah, I'm going to pick my team. Of course, I'm gonna pick the Raiders to win. But if Trevor is ever going to be that guy, he have to be the superior quarterback on the field versus these. He gotta be the best quarterback on the field.
100%.
Gotta be. If you go in and you lose this game, that says a whole lot about you. And with this, this team right now, you'll be just not ready. You know what I mean? You can't beat a Kansas City on Monday night, then go into Vegas and lose a 2-5 Vegas team that has no direction right now, with no quarterback and no future at all. So I'm going to pick the Raiders because I bleed it, but I'm going to be looking at Trevor Lawrence a little closer than I would normally look at him on a weekly basis if he don't win this game. So I'm going to pick.
And Jacksonville, don't trade Brian Thomas. What are we doing here? They just don't know.
We'll take him. He fit our timeline. So I mean, he's still young enough to where he can start over with a rookie quarterback. So I mean, if you want to get third round pick 2 seconds, I take him.
How I go from that to that in just a year?
It's kind of
there's something else going on there. That's why it feels weird. I'm like, all of a sudden, you just don't want him. But I digress.
Well, he's got some smoke out there just to have some conversation circulate.
That part.
You get the Saints at the Rams. The Rams are favored by 14.5, and we're taking the Rams.
I'd take the Rams by 28 if I could.
Kansas City and Buffalo, because we're not doing this. we just keep it the same.
Flat it on.
Yeah, but to keep it fair, Tyler Shucky's on watch. I mean, I don't know how it's gonna turn out. Probably bad, but anyways, next game we got the Chiefs at the Bills. This more than likely would be the game of the week. Vegas is expecting something big, 52.5 the total. I'm hoping that Buffalo pulls this out.
If it keeps the trend, Buffalo wins the regular season game, the Chiefs win in the playoffs. So if you're Buffalo, you want the Chiefs to win this game because you want to beat them in the playoffs. That's just the way it is. It's just the way it's been for years. They beat them in the regular season, can't beat them in the playoffs. So they're probably going to win. They're probably going to win and then lose in the playoffs. So
yeah, I'm going to take Kansas City. I just think they get ready to take off. It's about to get real spooky for the AFC. Real spooky because
nobody can beat them.
Who can beat 15?
Yeah.
They got like 8 receivers.
Yeah, they got 8 receivers.
Three tight ends.
3 tight ends, 3 running backs deep now. You still got Chris Jones, George Karlaftis, Trent McDuffie.
Mm-hmm.
Those are cornerstones. Oh, you got Nick Bolton. He's playing pretty well too. So.
Right. You know who their third tight end is? Robert Tonyan.
Yes.
So your third tight end is Robert Tonyan, who had great year with the Packers a couple years ago. Hasn't really been able to bounce back, but that's your third tight end.
He will be a second tight end on
a lot of teams.
Everybody else team.
Yep.
And then you got Noah Gray, and then you got the Hall of Famer. So it's like,
yep.
We got Hollywood, Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy.
It's crazy.
We ain't say Thornton.
Thornton. Oh, we ain't say Juju now.
Right, and that's the thing. Thornton hasn't even really played since a couple of weeks ago. Yep. So you got him on the back burner just in case everybody get hurt. It's unfair.
So you got Hollywood running 4-3, you got Xavier running 4-2, and you got Taquan running 4-2, and you got Kelsey eat you up through the middle. Or Rasheed Rice, he ain't slow either. He run a 4.34.
Man, he quick, man. He quick. I didn't realize how good he was until I saw it. I'm like, yo, this
You
guy's
see
good.
when you see that thing in live person, you like, woo.
Bro, it's insane.
Yeah,
It's insane.
So yeah, absolutely. So yeah, Kansas City and somebody else say otherwise.
And also don't forget about the running backs as well. So,
Yeah. Kareem Hunt's playing, and Pachinko. Here's the thing. I know we got to move on because it's getting out there, but Pachinko, like, it hasn't even, like, I feel like he's not back to where he was yet.
He hit his stride yet.
So, right, he hasn't hit his stride yet. So whatever it's coming. I don't know when, but it's gonna happen at some point. So
yep.
Seahawks favored by 3.5 over the Commanders on the Sunday Night Football slot. The total set at 47.5. I'm gonna take the Seahawks in this one.
I'm gonna take the Seahawks. I want to pick the Commanders, but I see the injuries. It's just too much. I got the Seahawks.
Can you give me? Are you guaranteeing me a healthy Jaden?
The word is he's gonna play.
Okay,
he's gonna play. I think he's gonna play. He practiced full today. I think he practiced today. He's gonna practice full. I think he's supposed to practice full the rest of the week. So yeah, he's gonna play.
Commanders at home.
Commanders are at home. Yep.
Give me the Commanders. Give me the Commanders this week. Give me the Commanders Sunday night.
Yep. And it's throwback jersey week for both teams. So this will be fun. We got the they're rocking the old school. The Commanders got they call them the Super Bowl era jerseys, but it's an old school, Redskin jersey, but with the old school Redskin stripe with the W on the side. So they look pretty clean. I personally will say I think these will be the regular jerseys in about a year or two. Yeah, probably before, but yeah, I think before they go into the new arena, or they may wait till they get into the new arena. I think this is a slow build to get as much as the Redskins back in there as they can without changing the name to the Redskins. So
yeah, because that's when 2030, right?
2030. So we got a couple years on that end.
That's gonna look clean.
Yeah.
And then finishing up Monday night, we got the Cardinals at the Cowboys. Total set at 53.5. So Vegas is expecting some big points here. Cowboys favored by 2.5.
Cowboys should win.
And Cowboys should win.
But this is a game they lose.
Give me Arizona. Kyler destroyed Dallas last time they played Monday night.
Yeah, that's why I said it. That's why I was like, it's a little weird because,
Give me Arizona. I'll take Arizona.
I'm gonna stick with Dallas, but this is very dangerous for Dallas because Arizona would. Something about him.
Kyler don't lose in Texas. I don't know what it is about Kyler in Texas. I don't know because he played high school there and whatever the case would be, but he don't lose. So
he got family there, something.
Yeah, he has. I don't think he's lost any football game he's ever played in the state of Texas through high school and college.
That's crazy.
And in the pros, he don't lose.
Is he back for sure?
If he plays, that's if he plays.
Okay.
But if he don't play,
they've been playing better with Jacoby, so they may still win that game no matter what.
I'm gonna take Arizona regardless. So
yeah, I'm gonna go with Dallas, but I would not be surprised.
I'm taking Dallas as well. Teams that's on the bye week, you got Cleveland, Jets, Philly, and Tampa Bay. One more question before we get up out of here for both of you guys. Who is the best team in the NFL right now through week 9? Heading into week 9. What are your guys' opinions about that?
15, man. That's all I'm gonna say. When you got that guy, it's hard to argue against it. When you got that guy.
It's so hard because obviously the Colts are playing the most complete football right now. You know what I'm saying? But I don't even know, man. This is really hard. Like, because like the teams that have lost in the games they lost has been like the Colts only losses to the Rams, but their teams that they played have not really been like they haven't really ran into nobody yet. And then one team they did really run into, and they played an early Broncos team that was figuring it out. So I don't want to say the Colts, even though they
leverage.
Yeah. I mean, I just I don't know. I'm gonna let you go first. I'm still trying to figure this out. I don't know.
I'm gonna go.
Are you going with the Chiefs?
Yeah, I'm going with 15, bro. Like, I don't know if because I'm so quarterback, whatever. I haven't had one in so long, and I know what that guy doing for what I'm seeing him do for his team,
Mhm.
and how he you just know he get the ball back with a minute and some change left.
They're gonna find a way to
It's
win.
over.
Yeah,
It's
they're gonna
over.
find a
Just
way
like
to win.
Tom Brady getting the ball back in the 2000s. He got the
Yeah.
ball back. You know, okay, turn the TV off.
Yeah.
Game's over.
Maybe it's the Chiefs. I mean, I think that may be the way to go. And like I said, even after seeing them, they didn't even try hard in that game, and they won by 3 touchdowns.
Exactly.
It didn't have, at no point other than like after the second half started, it just felt like, oh wow, they're not even playing hard, and it looks like they're ready to run. And once they get going, I don't know. And Rice, he been itching to get back because David feeding him the football. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
Yeah, I guess I'll go with the Chiefs. I can't believe I'm saying that, but the Colts. I need to see more.
Yeah. And Chiefs got the championship, the pedigree, so they're peaking at the right time. I'll say the Chiefs as well. Darrell, thank you
Always.
for coming on. Really, really appreciate you. You got a big one Friday for $1 million.
Yeah,
You
man.
got Buckingham, and then you got Central Lunenburg. You win one of those games, you could be in the playoffs. What are your thoughts?
If they're gonna win one, it's probably the Buckingham one. If they can win one. I don't know if I feel too confident on senior night next week. I want to see them get a win, but getting a chance to see both of them play against Buckingham and Central play against each other. I think if they got a chance, it's probably Buckingham. They got to do it. They got to do it this weekend. Thank God they got that win against Cumberland to at least guarantee 500. You know what I'm saying? Like we're gonna be at least 500 at the end of this season. So, or at least in the regular season. So yeah, I'm gonna say the Buckingham one would probably be the one if they had a chance.
I say the Buckingham one strictly because if Sterling Smith gets going and eliminate the mistakes and find his receivers, and I don't know how much the run game is going to come into effect because Buckingham's so good against the run,
Right.
but their weakness is definitely in the secondary. And I feel like if Sterling can attack that, they can make a game out of it.
Yeah.
Instead of a 40-0 blowout, maybe we can have like the 30-30, game and see who comes out the best team. So I just wanted to get your thoughts on that.
Yeah, man. I really wanted to go and broadcast this game, but Buckingham told me no. So and then they told me if I did, I had to pay $100. I'm not dropping 100 piece. Not to give you coverage. I'm here to give you coverage. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, obviously $1 million, but I'm giving you guys coverage too. I'm like, I'm not. It's about the kids, man. Like, I didn't,
$100.
They wanted me. They were going to charge $100 for me to come out and do the game, and I'm like,
to see that offense.
That's what they said. We asked, Lunenburg, as a shout out to Lunenburg for letting me come out there. They didn't charge me anything. It was a great game. I think Lunenburg plays Nottoway this week. Is that the case?
Yeah, and tomorrow night if it's not canceled.
Is it in Nottoway? Oh, it's tomorrow night.
Yeah, it's in Lunenburg.
I might be calling Lunenburg.
If it's not canceled, I think it's supposed to be raining tomorrow. So
man.
We'll see.
Maybe they'll push it to Friday. Maybe.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Well, Darrell, thank you. Amon, thank you as usual. Everybody, thank you for tuning in. And until then, everybody enjoy this week's game.